Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to an IXR XCL special today. It's the Endurance Series, round 5 of 6. And we are at the lovely Valencia. Race time is due to kick off at, I think it's 4 a.m. circuit time. And then we're going to run through to, I think it's probably about 10 a.m. So we should see a lovely little sunrise in the morning. This is my first broadcast of the Endurance Series, so you'll have to excuse me as we try and bumble through some of this because I'm not familiar with I know a lot of the drivers. I'm not familiar with a lot of the teams, so just pop it at the end of qualifying there. And I do know that the exclusive esports team, car number 788, as you can see, is the car on pole position here with Cozy Lerner. So they are starting as they mean to go on. Currently championship leaders. They've got about 110 points clear of second place team, which is also the exclusive esports team, but it's the car 787. But yeah, they are not only leading the championship going into round 5 here at Valencia, but they're also now on pole as well. Now, qualifying isn't really that important, I would say, for a 6-hour endurance race. I mean, being at the front just probably means you're going to avoid some of the carnage, if there is any kind of accidents at the start. But I would like to think that people are just going to cruise in and, take the start of this race early. But yeah, I'll try over the next, I think I'm with you now until where I am in the GMT or UK time or British Standard Time. It's just coming up to 4 p.m. and I'll be with you now until 6:30. So I'll be streaming for the next 2.5 hours. And then I'll pass you over to Clarpty, who will take you through to about the final hour of the race. And then I'll come back and cover the last hour with you guys. But I'm just going to get my... just get everything set up here as well so we can get started on here. But they're just finished off the qualifier now. We'll go through the order just shortly. But I'm looking forward to this one. This is my first endurance race. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on. Like I said, I do expect us to take a nice casual first couple of laps because, as you know, of endurance racing, it's not necessarily about your outright pace. Obviously, yes, that does help, but really, if you want to win in endurance, you've just got to stay out of trouble because, if you're 1 second a lap faster than the driver that's behind you, but you get yourself like a minute's worth of damage, then all of that time that you've gained over your stint has just been negated by the fact that you're the partner that's going to jump in the car after you is going to have to sit in the pits for an extra minute whilst you repair your car. So, I would like to think we're going to take a casual run in there, but we will see how it goes. I see we have a few people in with us at the minute. Just can anyone just, if you are listening, just put a message in the chat to let me know if the audio and everything's going okay. I haven't had a chance to test it, so hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. So if you are currently in the stream, just drop me a message or thumbs up just to let me know that we are working okay. So when we get through, when it just changes through to the actual race screen, we'll go through the order and I'll look at some of the lap times and things like that. As we can see that Cozy did get the fastest lap with a 1:30. We have 3 minutes before the start of the out lap. Yes, you can see. Let's have a look at qualifying. Yeah, so you can see Cozy Lerner, who is arguably one of the best drivers I've seen on ACC or console anyway. Setting the fastest first, second and third sector there and setting a 1:30.5. I don't think we're going to see many 1:30.5s in the actual race itself because everyone will be heavily fueled up. But you can see there was only a handful of cars, maybe the top 8, that could keep on, with under a second of Cozy Lerner's speed or time, should I say, and then then it just sort of kind of drops down. You can see actually we have to go all the way down to all these drivers I say in the top 20, then you can see there they're all within 2 seconds of the lead lap. As long as they can stay out of trouble, I would say that any one of those top 20 drivers that can stay within a couple of seconds of the leader, a few people will crash in front of you. I mean, the problem is with Valencia as well, I would argue, is that I'm just going to stop myself there for a second. But we have, just to let you know, guys, we have 27 cars here today. Most teams have 2 to 3 drivers. So it means we've probably got, around about sort of, let's say 70 to 90 drivers over 27 cars, which is, it's going to be an exciting race. But as I've stopped my own train of thought, but I can't remember what I was saying there. But I was just saying, if you stay out of trouble and you're within 2 seconds of the lead cars and stuff, it's anything can happen. But with Valencia, that's what I was saying. Sorry, with Valencia, there's so much runoff. There's so much, there's only a couple of corners I'd argue where you're going to get probably caught out by a sand trap, but even that sand trap isn't really going to give you that much damage. And if you have a bit of a shoulder barge with someone, you may get like 1 or 2 seconds damage here and there. So really, this is not a bad track for damage. So I suppose we'll argue with myself already, but I suppose actually raw pace is probably better in these kinds of on this tracks, especially because, like I said, I don't think you will see as many crashes into the barriers and stuff. I'm not saying we won't see one, but you won't see as many. I can see Klopte just saying loud and clear. So Klopte is going to be doing the second half, or also this is the middle part of the stream, and then I'll be taking over at the end there. But yeah, I mean, so you can see, guys, I would say, yeah, any one of those top 20 teams, I would say any one of those can look to get potentially on the podium. And I said, as the race unfolds, because I said we've got a lot of hours to fill here, guys. So I will walk you through the championship. I'll walk you through the drivers on each team. I presume, like all the drivers that qualified here will probably do the first stint. Now, again, I'm not much of an endurance race specialist in the sense that I haven't done many 6-hour events, but I suppose I would imagine. And Klopte, if you're still in the stream, you can probably disagree with me here, but I would imagine that most drivers are going to probably pit every hour, I would say. I don't know, Klopte, if you agree with that, but I would say most cars. I mean, because I think on ACC, your tyres probably fall off a cliff after about 45 minutes to an hour. So I would be surprised in a 6-hour race if I'd imagine we're going to see 5 pit stops at 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, and 5 hour. And I'll imagine most teams will put their fastest driver. So I'd imagine I'm going to roll my dice here and call this early, but I would say that the likes of Exclusive Esports in the in the 788 car with Cozy Lerner, you'll probably see Cozy Lerner racing the final hour. I did think he did the qualifying lap, but it looks like again that Fast Fanatical is racing first in the 788 car, so I presume then you can select which driver starts here. So again, this is all new to me. I've not really done a lot of driver swaps, but as you can see, that they allowed Cozy Lerner to set the pole time, and then Fast Fanatical is going to drive for Exclusive Esports first. Oh no, now it's saying Cozy Lerner again. I can't keep up with this. I guess there's going to be a few glitches here because it is now saying Cozy Lerner again. So that's what I was getting confused about. So yeah, ignore me then. I was going to say so. Yeah, but I presume the pit stops we'll see the swaps in. But I'd imagine the likes of Cozy, he might do the first stint and the last stint. Actually, how many people are in his team? Just for an example here. So I have got a list of all of the entrants here. So so Cozy Lerner is in with Fast Fanatical and Derlix. So I'd imagine with 3 drivers, if all 3 drivers are available, you'll probably see Cozy do the first stint and the last stint, and then Fast Fanatical and Derlix will probably take 2 little stints in the middle, an hour apiece. Because as you see with normal Le Mans and everything like that as well, you always want your fastest drivers in first, because that's they're the ones that are going to be winning these races for you. I see Wolf saying hi, sir. Hey, Wolf. I haven't seen you, haven't heard from you in probably almost a year, so it's nice to have you on stream. I presume you're here cheering on Ninja. I don't think their team had that great a qualifying lap, and I think they find themselves right down the order in 25th place. Again, it says Liam Manwaring at the minute, so I don't know if he is going to be racing the first stint with the drivers here. But as we go round, I think we just come around the last corner now, girls and guys, guys and girls. So we are going to be doing 6 hours of Valencia. This is an IXR stroke XCL, so it's a partnership between these two. So lots of great teams, lots of stuff hopefully to talk about. All I want to see in this first lap, guys, is just no silly stuff. I wanted to see a nice clean drive, and I want to get us all out, just outrun the first lap, and just because you want to just stay out of trouble. So as we go here then, guys, we can see that Storm is just tucking in here behind Cozy. I think Cozy Lerner is actually in first, so you can see him taking the first line in, but it does look like, is that Patrick? Yeah, he sweeps around the outside. Again, Cozy's not going to do anything silly, because all you want to do, and it looks like there might be one driver at the back there that maybe has gone a little bit wide. There is a yellow flag at the back as well, so we have got some sort of crash about involved the 427 car, so that is high caliber. Looks like they have fallen foul of something, and there is, I think that's Ninja behind them as well. I'm just trying to look at these ones here, so I don't know if that is I'm just looking to see where that accident is there. So I think he's yeah, the cars are all very similar, guys. I'm trying to keep up with this, but there has been what it looks like 3 cars maybe involved there. It does. I can't see from the images here there has been much damage, but there has been a little tap there. But it is Patrick that does take the lead here. Look at that gaggle of cars behind. You can see there's about 4 or 5 more here. They're just trying to hustle for position. But at the minute, all you want to do is get yourself into a nice rhythm, guys. Because like I said, it's is it to see there is someone get a little tap there. I'm not sure exactly which car that is. It looks like it was a 9. I thought it was one of the McLarens, but. Yeah, it might have been one of the exclusive esports cars. Actually, Kozilin has dropped down to 7th, so he must have had a little wobble at the start there. I think that was the guy that just got a tap there as well. So we do know he will find his way back up the order, but it looks like Kozilin has had a little bit of trouble at the start here. Has he got damage? Because he's getting... No, he's staying out there. So you can see Rathy on the inside here. He's going to try and dive down coming into the start of lap 2. Yeah, it looks like Cozy potentially had a mistake there. So it's actually Patrick who was out in the lead. It's got HSR Storm behind. That is TTR and Orion Racing going into lap 2 with a nice about a 2.2 second gap to what is Gentle... I have to look at that. I can't really read that one, so I might say Gentle Bars. And then we've got Airesh in 4th in the Porsche. To have a Porsche up in 4th place is quite impressive here for Schwitzter Motorsport. Yeah. There's a lot of action. I'm just going to catch up with the chat for 1 second, guys, so bear with me. So yeah, so just having a look at the chat now, guys, so we can see that yeah, Mindless Sharks and Ninja saying he's not starting. He had to go and eat. Yeah, Wolf, yeah, Ninja will be racing, but he's doing the second stint, I presume, for the guys there. Looks like, Ninja, your car did get into a bit of trouble there, so I was trying to say, let's stay out of trouble. You can see that, yeah, so just looking at this track now, guys, we can see here that Patrick and HSR Storm have broken the gap to what is Gente Bears, I think that is. He's in 3rd place, but he is 3.6 seconds behind. And he already has. You look at the gap they've formed. This is about to start the lap 3. You can see that Gentle Bars has got... What is the time going to be as he crosses the line? It's going to be, yeah, almost 4 seconds. And someone's got an orange, black and orange flag out there as well. So someone has got damage. Because that looks like they have to pit at some point. I wonder who that's going to be. But, yeah, so it looks like that maybe... is it Airesh here? He's maybe being held back by Gentle Bears. He's going to really try and get through as quickly as he can because, yeah, oh yeah, you can see that he's dived down the inside there. He's going to get the inside line for the next corner, and that is potentially their side-by-side still. Is he going to get the inside line for the next corner? I think that means that Gentle's going to hold that line for the next 2 corners, and he should then hold that position. But and on the attack there, it looks like that Fanatec has now potentially put pressure on the Porsche. They wanted to stay out of trouble. I said nothing silly on these opening laps. You just want to stay out of yeah, potentially getting any damage. But it looks like Fanatec is now trying to, or Fanatic should I say, sorry, he's trying to put the pressure on the Porsche to take 4th place. So it's attack to defence for the Porsche driver, as this is a really good battle here for what is 3rd, 4th and 5th. It looks like the Porsche is going to yield that position. Like I said, in these early stages, it's very, you just have to just not let your emotions take the best of you, because I know deep down in our heart we're all really, really keen racers, but in a 6-hour race you just want to keep your car in one piece and just make sure when you hand that car over to the next driver you're doing them a favour and putting them in a good position. You don't want to have to take over and be miles back down the order and have to put a big old race in, as we see there. Yeah, Fanatic is really trying to get the wiggle on here, so you can see that what is I think it's Gentle Bears, after his name is so small on the screen I have to apologise, but the 313 McLaren of Euro Titans Endurance, he is holding up this pack massively. He is now 6.2 seconds off of the lead 2 cars, and that is the kind of times that are going to kill you over the course of a a course of an endurance race, because you are going to have to try and claw those seconds back. But Bears here, the 313 McLaren, is putting up an absolute defensive masterclass, but you just wonder if it's hurting him in the long run, as we now see that the Porsche gets back down the inside of Fanatic here, and this is going to be a race for the ages, guys. This is like a sprint race kind of standard here. We can see Juvalainen in 6th place, just watching this all unfold, and as well as... Juvalainen. So yeah, Juvalainen is watching this one, because the 2, is he going to try and dive down the inside here? It's all kind of like, after all that kind of craziness for 2 laps, we can see that Bears in the 313 McLaren is still in 3rd place, Eresh is still in 4th, Fnatic is still in 5th, and Juveline is still in 6th. So nothing crazy has happened there. But in all this battling, like I said, Patrick and... Oh, as we see that, Patrick's gone spun out, and HSR Storm is going to take the lead of this race. Is he going to collect himself as the McLaren comes around? You can hear Patrick now accelerating on the track here. He has lost many, many places here. That is going to get this entire set of cars through. Where is Patrick going to come back in the order here? That is a big mistake by him, and his tyres are going to be really, really hot now. So as I was just saying, that Patrick has done all that good work to get out in front. He now finds himself back down the order. I think he's back down behind, as we can see, Juveline going in the pits as well. That's a very early stop, so I wonder if he does have some damage or something out there. But that is an interesting stop there. Juveline coming in after only 7 minutes. So we will see if he changes drivers. That is the 977 McLaren. But yeah, Patrick here has now lost out, and that is going to allow HSR Storm to fly out in the lead with a 5-second gap and nobody to sort of chase and pressure him. But that was a crazy first opening section here. But so it looks like Ninja saying he's going to join in an hour 2 like normal. Wolf was saying same broadcaster. Yeah, so Wolf, yeah. So just for anyone that is tuning in just now, so I'm just getting, I will run you through the order in a minute. I want to make sure we give everyone a lovely, we've got 6 hours, guys. Everyone's going to be getting some screen time today. But yeah, so I'll be running this broadcast probably, I think it's till 6:30, so I don't know, or 6:30. So that is in about... 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that means until the stream gets down, or the race gets down to about 3 hours and 30 minutes. And then Klopti, who will take over the stream, I will raid his stream so you can all switch on over. He will take over the stream with about 3.5 hours left in the race until about 1 hour left in the race. And then I will take back over maybe between 1 hour and 1.5 hours left, and I'll come and take the glory, as we say, for the last little bit. Klopti saying that there's rain potentially coming, so this is why we're seeing now a lot of people coming in. So I can't see it on the... Yeah, see, they have got windscreen wipers, so you are saying then that these guys have started on the slicks, and I presume are coming in for rain tyres. So we can see now, yeah, you can see all the rain on the... I wonder if everyone's going to be coming in the pits. Now, I wonder if anybody has gambled here on the wet tyres, but it looks like at the minute every single driver is coming in the pits. Is any Cozy Learner staying out there? He's a brave man, so Cozy Learner is trying to stay out there, and he thinks he can do it on... Or no, unless the reason why Cozy was dropping down the order was because of the rain. Klopti, I know you're the team manager of that driver. Can you give us some secret intel and tell us if he is racing on the wet tyre? Because if he is, then he has absolutely won this one. And we can see as another driver potentially not going out as well. That is the BMW of Schwitzter Motorsport. But yeah, cheers for that, Klopti. That is a good bit of intel, as we can see that, yeah, a lot of tyre changes here. So HSR Storm does get out. This will also, because of how close those Gagler cars were, you might find that some of these drivers are going to switch positions. It looks like maybe the Porsche of Eresh has got out in front of Bears in the 313 McLaren. So this is going to be good for him. Yeah, I wonder if Cozy has stayed on the... Because if Cozy has stayed out on the wet tyre, this is going to be great for him. But once all the pit stops have happened, guys, I will walk you through the order and we'll walk you through the current drivers and everything, and then we'll go through how everyone's getting on. I can't see anyone that's... we can see that LMW is a lap down already, so... Oh, no, that's just because he is there. They're coming across now. So these drivers haven't pitted either. I think they're just taking a gamble out here. Is Cozy pitting this lap? No, Cozy isn't pitting again. So either Cozy thinks he can race in these conditions, or he did have wet tyres on already, which would explain why he fouled down the order early doors. But if Cozy is able to race with these tyres on, this is a master stroke from their team manager to call that strategy, because that is going to pay massive dividends now. As oh yes, it looks like the BMW driver is going in. So either Cozy has called a master stroke. Klopti, if you're listening, if you called this strategy, because that would be amazing if that is true. But it looks like Sylph has stayed out there as well. He's now up to what is P2 here. Just going to wait for this order to kind of sort itself out, because at the minute there is a few drivers that look like they're staying out there. If Silver's caught that as well, that's fantastic. But at the minute, yeah, like Cozy, let's see what kind of lead he's got at the minute. And I'll see if he is slowing down with the wet conditions. We can see that HSR Storm is coming down where he's out the first section now, so he should be back up into what is net third here. Only 10 minutes have gone in this race, guys, and there is some crazy chaos going on out here. There's so much has happened. It's yeah, I'm just trying to work out if Cozy's done a masterstroke strategy here, because he's 21 seconds in front of Sylph, and Sylph is 16 seconds ahead of HSR Storm. So we'll be interested to see if that starts to fall down as the laps unfold. As there's the number 1 car, I just see there, he's got a yellow flag, and he's out there again. Is he crashed again? I think Patrick is having a nightmare out here for the TTR team. So what was a really good start to this race, and he was out there in first place. He now finds himself down in, well, potentially falling out of the top 20 here. This is not a great time for Patrick, as seems to go to bad for worse for him. So unless he's still got dry tyres on by mistake, but yeah, that's not looking good for the likes of Patrick, who was one of the early sort of like drivers that looked like he was potentially going to be challenging for the race win. Okay, so it looks like, based on what I'm seeing, I think Sylph and Cozy Lerner have potentially gone out on wet tyres at the start of this race. That's why they fell down the order. And then since then, they have now managed to get themselves out miles in the lead. So there's a huge gap between Cozy Lerner and Sylph and HSR Storm. There's also a huge gap forming between a lot of the drivers out here. As you can see on the track map itself, there's a lot of gaps out there everywhere. As we see one of the drivers go wide there. I'm not sure who that was. The number 13 car. Was that... yeah, the numbers are wrong on the screen, so it's going to be hard for me to quickly to quickly pinpoint these drivers down. But let's just go through the order for you guys then. So at the minute we have Exclusive Esports number 788 Cozy Lerner out there in first place. The Exclusive Esports car is also leading the championship, so we do have the championship leader currently out there in the lead of this race as well. He has a 21 second gap over Sylph GB in the MSA Autosport 414 Lamborghini. Now that car, I'm just trying to clear this one up for you. So he is currently in 6th place in the championship, tied for 6th place with High Tech E-Racing. So we'll have a look at that one and see where they are at the minute. HSR Storm is currently in 3rd place, 15 seconds back from Sylph after the opening quarter for an hour. Now HSR Storm and Orion Racing, they are currently placed 12th in the championship, and that's because they've missed a couple of the events. So so Orion Racing are one of the quickest teams out there. It's just unfortunately they haven't competed in all of the races. They've only done 2 of the 4 rounds. Now we have Aresh in the Schwitzer Motorsport 555 Porsche. Now that is actually the 3rd place in the championship car. So we do have in the top 4 the top 4 leaders of this race currently 2 of the top 3 drivers in the championship. So that is good news for them as they try to maintain that push to win the title with 1 round to go after this one. Fanatic in the Exclusive Esports 787 car. Now that is the 2nd place championship car, and they're also in the top 5. So like I said, again, you have the top 3 drivers in the championship, or top 3 teams, sorry, currently top 5 in this race. So that is just going to show the standard those teams have. Juvalainen in the Northern Lights Racing team in 6th place. They currently reside in 13th place in the championship, so they're in quite a big race with Orion Racing. So that is good to see them, 3rd and 6th. So I'd be interested to watch that race unfold as it goes along. Then we have Tyraconium. I can't really read his name that much, but that is the Euro Titans Endurance team, number 314. Actually, it looks like, have they changed their driver? They may potentially have. So that team, I'm just looking to see where they're currently based in the championship. So I don't know how many Euro Titans teams there are. So Euro Titans... So I'm not sure, because it says that they're esports teams in the championship, so they could be maybe in the top 15 here. The 314 car, I'm just looking to see if I can find it out. So unfortunately, I can't confirm that one for you guys, but I think they're maybe down the order a little bit there. We have a High Caliber Racing. So not only is he the main driver racing out there today, he's also he named the team after himself. So let's hope they're doing all right in the championship. High Caliber Racing are currently. They look like they're currently 17th in the championship, as we see a car in the background there, so they're just spinning around. But High Caliber Racing having an 8th place currently positioned in this race, and they are quite far down the order in the championship, so this could be a really good chance for them to eke up some points. Oh, here we go. So this is another endurance racing team. So this is the Bears team from earlier. So this is again, I can't confirm the numbers here, but I know the numbers don't match up to what the leaderboard says, so I can't unfortunately give you too much information about those two, but I do know one of their teams is in the top 15. Rafi of K1 Esports, they are currently rounding out the top 10 after the first quarter of an hour of this race. Now Rafi is with the K1 Esports team. They are positioned. Trying to find them all on this leaderboard, guys. It's a minefield on this leaderboard. There's so many teams, which is just going to show what great work IXR and XCL do here. But yeah, so the K1 Esports. Let's see where they're positioned currently. Yeah, K1 Esports. It looks like they are currently positioned in 21st place. So again, having a top 10 finish out here would be fantastic to boost them up the table. I know they've actually missed 3 of the races, so this will really help them move their way up the order. And then we have another Schwister Motorsport team of the 888 BMW. Now they actually, because I think Schwister have 5 teams, the 888 Schwister team, it doesn't look like the even Twisted team even have an AAA team in here, this one, so I don't know if that's just maybe a new entry for them this time. But yeah, I can see 5 Twister teams, not one of them is a car AAA, but the 666 car is currently in 12th place. They are 4th in the championship. So this isn't a great day for this team, who are going to have to see if they can start to work their way up the order as the race unfolds. They might have been one of the casualties of potentially. The problem is, if you just pass the pit straight and the rain comes down, you've got to race an entire lap in the rain. Whereas a lot of the other drivers, if they're near the pit stop, they can jump in straight early and maybe capitalise a little bit. We have Weenity in the Super Swede Racing team. That probably explains the yellow and blue. Now Weenity is it's a 2-car team here, so this is the leading car at the minute. But the Super Swede Racing, I'm not sure exactly where they are in the championship at the minute. They are. I can't pinpoint these drivers at the minute. I know their sister car is currently ranked 15th in the championship, so it's this leaderboard isn't great here. I can't quickly identify a lot of the drivers out here, but I can't see the second Super Sweet team, so I don't know if this is their first entry into the championship today. But yeah, I can't see them on the leaderboard currently. We have STR Esports and LMW85. They are currently 15th place in this race. And they have, they're only about 1.2 seconds behind 14th place, so they are putting a little bit of pressure on the Super Swede Racing. We have Velocity Endurance Racing Team. They're currently in 16th place. They've fallen off a little back of the guys in front, but you don't know how many of these. You can see that they've got a bit of a gap to a little gaggle in front of them. So if they can start to pump in some good laps, then potentially, they might find themselves closing down on the top 15 here. We have Time Zone Racing with Stig currently in 17th place. I think there might be 2 Time Zone Racing teams, I'm not sure. But yeah, they're in the 628 McLaren. I see a lot of people racing with the McLaren these days. I presume it's one of the best bop cars at the minute out there. But yeah, they're doing a good job so far in 17th place. We have Weber in the high-tech e-racing team. They are currently in 18th place. The high-tech e-racing side, I did realise I recognise that name. They are currently joint 6th in the championship. So again, they need to try and get themselves up the order a little bit, because we do know that a lot of the drivers up there in the top part of this race, they are actually, doing quite well in this race so far. And then we have Pat Winner in the OW Racing team. Actually, just checking out, that is the highest ranked, by the looks of it, PlayStation driver and the only PlayStation driver in this field. They currently reside in 19th place in the 720 McLaren. So, Pat Winner representing the PlayStation class. The Super Speed Racing team, the first, I've said the first of the two cars, they are currently positioned in what looks like 21st place here. They just lost a place to the Schwister Motorsport 333 McLaren. So they now have dropped out of the top 20 and now are currently in 21st. As we do know from the chat, Ninja will be taking over Liam's seat in the second part, or in the second hour of this race, so probably in about 38 minutes time. And then we have another Schwister Motorsport car, the 444 car, in 22nd. So they are, they're in that little battle there with Super Swede and the other Schwister car there. Nelson 93 in the Team CRT. They are, I just see him spin out in the background there. So I would say he was 23rd, but it looks like potentially he may have just lost a place there. Or that is there's the Aston Martin coming through now. So that is 24th gone. That is probably 25th there as well. So now since we just came into stream, that's perfect timing. Commentator's brilliance there, you could say. But as I switched to him, he just slid out on the track, so he is now dropped down a place, but he will continue on. Those tyres will be a little bit hot for a minute, but I'm sure he will cool them down and get on with the race there. We have Shadow Gaming, currently part of the Time Zone Racing team. Shadow Gaming is now currently down in 25th place. They're about 8 seconds off the pace of the drivers ahead, so I don't know if they may have had a crash at the start or whether they're just struggling in the rain a little bit here. But Shadow is currently rounding out the top 25, and then we have two more drivers which is the Velocity Endurance Junior. Is that Junior Racing Team? Yeah. Unfortunately, his name is so small, I couldn't even tell you what it is. I need to get some glasses because his team name is so long. I can't see his team name as he spins out as well. So you see a lot of these drivers near the back end of the grid, or the back end of the field. Sorry, they are seemingly struggling with the wet conditions. As he now, this you see the 97 car of Matt Cooper. He is coming around with the High Caliber Racing. So is that a second High Caliber Racing team? But you can see a lot of the drivers here are spinning out. So there are a few people struggling with the conditions, but that's fine. I mean, it is to be expected. And let's just go back up to the front, guys, and see what's going on then. Cozy still out there in front. So I did wonder, actually, when the race started, why Cozy fouled down the order so dramatically at the start, and he seemed to struggle. And I think it was a masterstroke strategy from Klopty, that just basically must have, or I say it's a masterstroke, he might have been Cozy himself, but they obviously put the wet tyres on, seeing that the rain was going to start soon, and that has allowed him to get such a gap at the start. We can see that HSR Storm is closing down on Sylph, so we'll go to that battle in a second, but I just see a chat message I want to just keep up with. I will do my best, guys, throughout today's stream to keep up with the chat as much as I can. So if you do message, just bear with me and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. So I can see here that is it Armed Dish? Oh no, that's just a I wonder why the message was so long. I was going to say, so we can see Ninja. So I looked down and I saw a massive message and I thought, I better read that one, and I just looked at it, it's just pure spam. But I don't mind, Armandish, you coming in my stream, giving me a unique viewer. You've already boosted my channel anyway, so that is perfectly fine. Guys, if you are watching the stream right now and you haven't already followed, just I would appreciate, obviously I do this out of the goodness of my heart. It's completely free of charge. I do it because of the love of ACC and the love of just giving you the best kind of, just give the best kind of quality, just to make your days more fun. But if you haven't followed me already, I would appreciate the follow. If you've got Prime subs to give away, chuck them my way. But really, I just, like I said, there is no all the money I make from the streams, I'm just trying to save up for an Elgato capture card, because when I get one of those, we're going to take these streams to the next level, because I can just I'm looking forward to doing that one day. But for now, just appreciate you just coming in and having a chat with me, guys. Keeps me entertained, gives me something to talk about. No one wants to listen to me talk for 6 hours straight anyway, do they? But I'm just looking at this now. So HSR Storm currently in third place. It has been quietly over the last 10 minutes or so slowly eking out that gap or closing that gap to Sylph. Sylph, who obviously was one of the other drivers who I think benefited from the fact that they started on the wet tyre. Now you can see that Cozy has gained over half a minute basically on Sylph, and he is just going to keep himself going away. But you can see now that HSR Storm has now closed that gap to 3.4 seconds on Sylph. So I'm sure in a minute we will see Sylph in the distance. So he is starting to really close that gap, and I will be interested to see what Sylph can do when he catches. So what Storm can do when he catches up with Sylph, and then can he then close that gap to Cozy Lerner? We do know that Cozy is an absolute alien, but we'll just we'll sit with Storm for a minute, give him a bit of screen time. Partik saying you are the best commentator around, hands down. Thank you, Partik. I'll take that compliment. I'll try to make sure my head doesn't get too big, because then I'll struggle to walk around my house later. But yeah, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate all of the positive feedback. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you, Partik, you have followed me already, so I appreciate that. And I know Mind the Shark, aka Ninja Baby, he is, you've also followed, so I do appreciate you coming in and just chatting. Like I said, guys, don't be afraid if you are a new viewer or you're just coming in. Just chuck some comments down, guys. Give me some talking points. If you feel like your driver isn't getting enough kind of screen time, tell me off. I'll let you know. We've got 6 hours to fill here, guys, so I need your help as much as it is just me having a conversation here. But what is interesting here is I think that Eresh in the 555 Schweister Motorsport 555 Porsche, he seems to be closing the gap to Storm at the similar kind of pace as what Storm is closing the gap to Sylph. So in a minute, we're going to have this lovely kind of three-way battle between a Lamborghini, a McLaren and a Porsche. So I think they're all in shot here. That's the Lamborghini, that's the McLaren, that's the Porsche behind. This is actually going to be quite a little interesting little bit of racing here. I'm looking forward to this one. And I'm just, as we look at this as well, I can see that there's another car quite... Yeah, we can see here that I think he's just got past. Actually, so just to mention that, Kai has just, by the looks of it, got past the BMW. Or is that the BMW closing up on... There's two Schweister teams, actually. So that's the 666 and the 888 Schweister teams. I don't think they're going to do anything silly and take each other out. But... we will go down the order in a minute, guys, and have a look at some of the other battles out there, because I do know there are a lot of action going on. And I'm not just going to keep looking at the front here, but I am curious as to the fact that Storm is closing the gap on Sylph and Eresh is closing the gap on Storm. So this is going to really start to get interesting in a minute. Yeah, Klopp saying that keep an eye on the 787 exclusive car and the 555 Schweister car. Yeah, so at the minute you can see that Fanatic has got, he's about 8.6 seconds behind the 555 Schweister car. Now Klopp here, what I was just mentioning there is that the Schweister car, the 555, the Porsche, that is making moves right now. So actually not only is, so Storm is catching up with Sylph, that is obvious to see, but the Porsche is actually catching up to Storm as well. So I would say, based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like the 555 Porsche is actually looking like he could potentially start challenging for second place soon. So and let's have a look at the championship. As you mentioned it, Klopp, we will have a look at this now. So we do know that the Schweister 555 car is currently on 570 points in the championship, and the exclusive eSports 787 McLaren, they're on 600 points. So there is only 30 points between those two cars. So this is actually going to be quite a good little interesting little battle as well. You are right, Klopp. But obviously there is now, we're coming up to potentially finishing our first half an hour of the, we've got 1 minute to go. I'm looking forward to this now. So yeah, HSR Storm is closing the gap on Sylph. Sylph is just ahead of him there in that 414 Lamborghini. He's got some back markers ahead of him, and then Resh is now closing the gap here. So this is going to get tasty in a minute, guys, because all three of these drivers are racing for position. This is second, third and fourth, half an hour into this 6-hour endurance race, and all three cars are in picture shot here as we see that number 13 I think that's a Super Swede racing car just getting out of the way. Does not want to get involved in that. I believe that's Liam Manwaring. He does not want to get tripped up in this battle. I think Mindless Shark or Ninja will be looking through his fingers at the minute, as he doesn't want to have his cards be caught up in this race for what is second, third and fourth. It looks like actually though that HSR Storm has now made the move down the inside on Sylph. Sylph giving him the flashes. I don't know if that was an aggressive move or not. Sylph didn't look happy with those flashes there, but yeah, he has made the move on Sylph, and he has now made himself up to second place. And I don't know if Sylph is now going to fall foul to Aresh in the 555 Schwister cars. He's just now behind. He has got past Liam Manwaring. We can see another driver getting past as well, but I don't know if those flashes were just Sylph acknowledging the fact that he did a good overtake, but the Porsche is now closing up on this as well, so this is starting to become quite intense here at the front. Okay, so Shuey here in the F1 saying that High Caliber had a glitch, had to start from last, moved up to 11th place. So let's just go to him for I'm just looking at this one. I'll stay on this race for a second. I will come back to Shuey and give a bit of time, but we can see that High Caliber Racing currently 11th place, putting pressure on what looks like, as we see one of the other cars ahead. So they had a glitch at the start, so had to start from last. We see a car spinning out there. And I think the 313 McLaren there, so it looks like he's going to maybe, So as we said, High Caliber Racing has moved up to 10th place. So they also opted to start on the wets, like Sylph and Cozy Lerner. And as we see Aresh now dive down the inside of Sylph here, we just caught it just at the right time, and he has now moved himself up into third place. Calvert, but Sylph is fighting back here. So as I said, that I thought that was a done move, and no, Sylph has fought back, and that is going to, HSR Storm is going to be loving this, because the longer these two drivers for third and fourth battle it out, as we see the Porsche go down, he's going to try and hold the outside line. He goes over the bump there, and he's going to have to back out that one, but the Schwister Motorsport car he's going to want to make a move on, because the exclusive esports 787 car is now, that was 8 seconds behind since this battling has begun, is now dropped to 5.8 seconds. And as we know that the Schwister car needs to get a few more places ahead of the 787 McLaren if they want to close that championship position down. But yeah, it looks like they're going to have to do that one again. But yeah, the High Caliber Racing team did opt as well to start on the wets. They've gone from last up to 10th in this race. They've got 16 seconds to close down the gap to 9th. But they are looking like one of the cars on the move. So Shuey, good luck for that. And look forward to seeing how your race unfolds. Yeah, Klopty saying, yeah, it's all good and well, like you've started last, but you have got 5.5 hours to go. So you have got a long time to go. It is true. That's very facts. Klopty saying that the time zone racing teams are from Australia and they're 10 hours ahead currently, so they're driving in the middle of the night. Talk about dedication, that is true. So we'll give some shout out to them in a little bit. As we see, Aresh has now made another move on Sylph. Has he made the move stick this time? He has, and that moves the Porsche up to third place in this race, and they are now going to start to try and stamp some lap times in so they can push ahead, ready for when the next drivers take over, which I'd imagine will be sometime in the next 25 minutes. Well, sometime in the next, I'd imagine roughly on the hour, every hour they'll probably change the drivers over. Whoever's taken over from Cozy Lerner is going to be loving the fact that he has now got about a half a minute lead, so even if they make a mistake, they've got a nice little cushion there. One thing I want to keep an eye on is how many seconds HSR Storm is behind Cozy, and is he making any kind of amendment on that? So you can see that Aresh in the Porsche was actually at one point about 1.2 seconds off the back of Storm. Now, because he couldn't get past Sylph as fast as, so you can see it's 28.4 seconds, sorry there, just to keep an eye on that one. But yeah, so now he's lost about 4 to 5 seconds on that driver, and he's now going to have to see if he can make that move up. So he's currently 5.5. We'll keep an eye on that gap as well. But let me just go down the order and see what else is going on. Patrick is starting to make some moves up the order now. He's currently in 13th place. He's slightly behind. It looks like the SCR Esports Ferrari, the 373 Ferrari. I think he's probably made that move stick now, has he? I'm just trying to look to see where he is. Yes, you can see he has passed Ferrari there, so I think he's now going to move himself up to 12th place. Wait for the next timing screen to tick that one over. Yeah, he's moved himself to 12th place, and he's now actually right close behind the 313 McLaren of Bears, and he gets past him as well. So in the space of about 3 or 4 corners, Patrick has moved himself from 13th up to 11th, and he is now starting to make his way back up the order. The TTR team, who were at one point for the first 5 minutes of this race, leading the race by about 5 seconds. He spun out, obviously lost out in the rainy conditions, and he's now finds himself down in 11th place, and he's going to start to make his way back up the order. So watch out for the TTR team as the race unfolds. We do know they've got some speed, so let's see how they can get on. They're 1.9 seconds behind High Caliber Racing, so we'll see how that one goes. Down the order, looks like let's give a bit of screen time to Velocity Endurance Racing Team. They are currently, looks like, only a second behind what looks like the 333. Yeah, 1.4 seconds behind the 333 car of the Swiss Motorsport, one of their 3 cars. So Klorps is saying there's 2 strategies. You either pit every hour and make an extra drive through at the end of because of the 1 hour stint timer. Oh, so you cannot race for more than an hour. Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. So basically, I'd imagine that most people will just pit every 55 minutes then. Well, no, I suppose a drive-through penalty. Is it just 1 drive-through penalty? Yeah, I suppose. I mean, yeah. To be fair, because of the amount of time it takes to stop, you've got to change tyres and everything, I'd probably just take the drive-through penalty. I presume that's what most people do. But Klopp is saying that, yeah, the weather will spice that one up. So, yeah, so we are now 35 minutes or 36 minutes into the race. So I do think, yeah, like I said, over the next 20 minutes or so, we will start to see some drivers kind of pile in there. Let's go and see how my boy Liam Manwaring's doing. He's currently in 19th place, 18 seconds back from the Velocity Endurance Racing Team. He is holding about an 8-second lead over the Schweister BMW, the 444 BMW. So he's doing a good job out there currently. So I don't know. Yeah, I can't really work out, but I think the Super Swede Racing Team, it says that they're the number 13 car. And I don't really get that one because I can't see one of those ones out there. But yeah, because they've got a 52 car and a 414 car. So I can't understand why it says they're number 13 on the menu. I don't know which one that is, but either way, neither of their drivers are in the top 10, and they're top 10 in the championship, so they are going to want to start stepping up again and see if they can move up through the order here. We haven't had any dropouts currently, as we can see that we still have 27 drivers in this race. I'm just looking here, Matt Cooper looks like he's challenging the 112 Ferrari here. It looks like they have made a pit stop. So Max Monster in the K1 Esports car. So it looks like they've swapped early here. Or was there 2 K1 Esports teams? But I'm pretty sure that wasn't the driver that was in there earlier. And you can see they've got the green icon. So, but yeah, that is Matt Cooper making his move up into 25th place. So he'll then try and kick on from there. We can see Shadow Gaming. It looks like they says they're 0.6 seconds behind the CRT car of Nelson. So that is the 395 car here. So can Shadow Gaming start to make a move and move them straight up to 23rd? I think at one point they were a bit further down. So let's see what Shadow Gaming can do here. Of the Time Zone Racing Team. Now we do know that Time Zone Racing are one of the drivers that we're just talking about that are racing from Australia. So they're 10 hours ahead. So it's currently, yeah, the middle of the night for them over there. So 2 a.m. So we can forgive them for not being completely awake. They'll probably be having a lot of energy drinks. Scallop saying that High Cal is doing a good job avoiding all the nonsense. Klopp saying that the leaderboard numbers are bugged. Yeah, Scallop saying that there's been a lot of argy-bargy and they're doing a good job staying out of there. This is what I was saying earlier, guys, is that half of, you know, like, what we do here, like half of like endurance racing is not about how fast you are. It is literally about how, you know, how much you can just stay out of trouble. I'm just looking here. This looks like a little close battle here. Yeah, you just basically got to stay out of trouble, guys. Basically, you know, if you avoid any damage, as we see, oh my God, there's a big crash there. And I just say stay out of trouble. Bears clips the front of a Ferrari there, goes spinning out, and that is, you can see he's got some severe front end damage. As he's, I imagine he is going to probably try and pit now because. Yeah, that is a big crash there. I don't know what happened. It looks like he clipped the front of a Ferrari. And I was just literally saying, if you want to do well in endurance racing, you've got to stay out of trouble. Now, that is probably going to be, what, 20, 30 seconds worth of damage there. And he's got, I wouldn't be surprised if they're calling in a driver change here. Because, yeah, that is going to be a... yeah, it's a big bit of repairing. So I don't know if they're going to want to stay out there now. So they might swap their drivers. The 313 McLaren might have an early pit stop here. As you can see, the front end of that car is hanging off. That's a very unfortunate collision. You can see, yeah, it doesn't look very stable either. So I'd imagine we're going to see, yeah, a pit stop here. But that was, yeah, You've got to stay out of trouble, and then bang, it's a commentator's curse again. But I think I'll be surprised if this car doesn't come in and pit now. Yeah, there we go. He's going in the pits. So I'm gonna stay with this driver for a second because I want to see if it just how the driver change works. But it's just for my own vanity here. But yeah, so that is Bears in the 313. It's a fall from grace from is it Gente Bears or Bars? I really can't see his name. Guys, what I would say in future, and this is like just for my own sanity, if you're gonna pick a team name or in this endurance racing thing, pick a short one, like something small, so I can so it doesn't shrink your name, so I can read them better, because I'm an old man and I can't be looking at these tiny words. But yeah, it's a really unfortunate. We will come back to the 313 McLaren in a minute. We'll keep an eye on that one. But I want to mention that HSR Storm has now closed the gap to Cozy Lerner. It was about 28 seconds, now 25, so we can see that Storm does have the pace of Cozy Lerner. Now with the hour coming up soon, I'm curious to find out what kind of pace the other two drivers have got on that team. Now we know Orion Racing are a good team, they just haven't competed in all the championship races. They do find themselves, like I said, down in I think it's 11th or 12th in the championship, but they are one of the fastest drivers out there. We can see that since Aresh has got past Sylph, he has extended that gap to 12 seconds, but we do have the exclusive esports 787 car closing that gap down to 2.9 seconds. And there's also, I'm looking at Winity and the Super Speed Racing team, they are closing the gap to the high-tech e-racing team of Weber. They're only half a second back. So this is the leading car in the Super Speed Racing team. This is the second team car, and they are currently 4 positions ahead of their teammates, Liam Manwaring in the 414 Ferrari. So let's see how they get on. But to be fair, Liam's only about, it looks like 20, maybe about half or so a minute, maybe a bit more behind. Baas. It's pronounced Baas, as in arse. Gente Baas is a Dutch name. Okay, cool. So we do know that Gente Baas in the 313 McLaren. Now, who has come back out in that car? That's what I want to see. There we go. K1 Wilson. Now, I'm already curious here now, guys, because there is a K1 esports team, and we have K1 Wilson racing for Euro Titans Endurance. Can anyone fill me in on that one? Does K1 Wilson own the K1 esports team, and he's just, not racing for his own team? Can anyone fill me in on that one? As we see, looks like Pat Winner in the PlayStation and the OW Racing team, they are coming in the pits as well after 45 minutes. So I think we'll probably see another driver change here as well. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have another change at the minute. So actually, since with those repairs, we can see that K1 Wilson has come out in dead last. And it looks like they haven't, I don't know if this is a glitch on my screen, but it looks like they haven't repaired their damage either. So they've probably done the actual damage to fix the steering, but they haven't repaired the bodywork. So they're racing out there with damaged bodywork, and I don't know how much that affects the aerodynamics of the car, but what I am interested to see, so you can see like that K1 Wilson is going around. I don't know if that's going to put them ahead of the OW Racing team, but Pat Winner. Oh, they've got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is really unfortunate for the OW Racing team of Pat Winner. But Pat Winner is staying out there. It doesn't look like they've swapped drivers. So I'm wondering if there's... I wonder why they didn't swap drivers, unless he's just doing a 2-hour stint maybe, but that is curious as well. Klopty, I don't know if you can answer this question for me as well, or someone in the chat. If you have a 1-hour driver timer and you don't swap drivers, but you go in the pits and change your tyres and stuff, does that reset your timer, or are you going to get a drive-through penalty as well for going over the hour? That is another question I have for you guys to answer for me. Sylph here has lost the position to Fnatic, so now that is exclusive esports 787 up into 4th place. apologies, I missed that when it was unfolding. So Sylph has dropped down to 5th place in the MSA Autosport car, and the Exclusive Esports, Fanatic is now up 1 position behind the 555 Schwister Motorsport team. They are racing for 2nd and 3rd in the championship currently, although Exclusive, the 787 McLaren is leading the championship in 2nd place. Schwister is going to hopefully close the gap down going into the final race, because they now currently hold that position and they're 14 seconds clear. Now, in the interim, the HSR Storm has closed that gap from 28 seconds down to 20 seconds. So Storm is showing that he does have the outright pace to challenge Cozy Lerner, but we just don't know if Cozy Lerner's maybe in fuel saving mode, or he's trying to look after his tyres a little bit longer to make the stint last a bit longer. But Storm currently showing some great pace out here. So Klorpt is saying the timer does get reset when pitting. That's fantastic. So that means that driver is probably out there doing a 2nd stint. Oh no, it isn't. So it has changed. So it has now done Wane in there now. So he has now changed. Looks like he's just completing his drive-through penalty now. He doesn't want to speed again, as we see. So there was a driver change there, but it is good to know that they can change over. Let me walk you through the order then, guys. We're coming up to the sort of the pit stop times. Let me walk you through. We'll give everyone a bit of screen time here now. Sabrito saying, is there a rule that they only need to only use Maccas and Ferraris? There is a lot of Ferraris and McLarens out there. You are right. HSR Storm now closing that gap down to less than 20 seconds. So, Cozy Lerner in the Exclusive Esports 788 McLaren, they are currently in 1st place. HSR Storm for Orion Racing has started to close that gap down. He now finds himself, he was leading the race at one point, but he started on slicks. Cozy Lerner started on wets, and that has meant that Cozy Lerner is now out in the lead. However, Storm has been closing that gap and is showing some great pace out there. Resch in the Schwister Motorsport 555 Porsche, he is currently in 3rd place, 14 seconds clear of Fanatic, who is the 2nd Exclusive Esports car in the number 787 McLaren. Sylph is in the 414 Lamborghini, currently residing in 5th place, dropping back a little bit. We'll find out if Juveline is going to close that gap to him, currently 3.7 seconds back. As he crosses the line, is that gap going to fall down? Yes, it is to 3.3 seconds. So maybe Sylph is starting to let those tyres get hurt a little bit. Maybe he's struggling to keep those lap times up, and we may need to see Sylph pitting shortly. But yes, so he's Juveline in the Northern Lights racing team. He's currently in the 977 McLaren, racing in 6th place. We have Zagronium in the Euro Titans Endurance 314 McLaren. He's currently in 7th place. His teammate isn't having the best of times, but at least one of the Euro Titans Endurance teams is out there in the top 10. Kai in the Schwister Motorsport 666 Ferrari currently resides in 8th place, about 4.9 seconds, about 5 seconds back from 7th place, having a good race so far. He is being followed by his 888 BMW Schwister Motorsport teammate in 9th place. Patrick has now made his way up into 10th place, 12 seconds back from that drivers ahead of him, but he is starting to make the way back up the field, currently holding the fastest lap of the race, which does come with a bonus point. LMW85 in the STR Esports Ferrari currently in 11th place, 16 seconds back from Patrick, but he is having a nice good race in there at the minute, in the top 11th place there, sorry. He has got a 6-second lead over HTR Weber in the High-Tech E Racing team in 12th place. There has been a few overtakes here, because we can see that High Caliber has moved down to 13th place, now 5.5 seconds behind the number 12, the number 11 Ferrari. We can see that the 52 car of Wienity has been behind this Caliber Racing. Well, he was behind the high-tech car, so actually, but he is now behind the Caliber Racing team. These have got similar colours out there, but can Wienity make an overtake here? We'll just stay with this one for a minute. Wienity is the leading Super Swede Racing team car. Currently, he's about 4 positions above, as we can see. One of the drivers behind, I think that's probably is that HSR Storm behind, flashing them. But Wienity is going to try and make a move here. He does drop off a little bit. I think that might be Storm there, but I'm going to stay this one for a second, see if there is a bit of an overtake. Wienity is putting the pressure on here, so the Super Speed Motorsport car is doing a good job of keeping this interesting. But the High Caliber Racing team are having a good job out here today, so this is going to be a good battle, I think, as the race unfolds. Yeah, that's it. The car behind really wants him to get out of the way. I think that is Storm trying to get through here as he slides, and he just, it looks like he was caught out by how, is that Storm that has slid? Yeah, that is. So Storm got caught out by the how early Weenity had to brake, but obviously Weenity was quite really close up behind. I don't know if he's going to now decide to pit here. No, Storm is going to stay out, but Storm, who'd done all that good work to try and close the gap to Cozy Lerner, has going to have lost many seconds there, and that has allowed the Porsche of Aresh, the 555 Swiss Motorsport team, to get up into second place, and they're going to say thank you very much, and they are not going to complain about that one. So HSR Storm is going to have to now work his way. Actually, has the Fanatic got through as well? I'm just having a look at this one here. Sorry, now. No, he hasn't. No, sorry. For a second I got confused there. But that is, good news for the Swiss Motorsport team. Bad news for Exclusive Esports 787, because that means there is now a car between them both. But, Resh is going to kick on now in that 555 Porsche. Weenity is still trying to make moves on that car here. But, in 15th place, we have the Swiss Motorsport 333 McLaren. And then Time Zone Racing, Stig, is currently in 16th place in the 628 McLaren. And then we have the Velocity Endurance team. Is that Kevin? Sorry, he's the number 72 McLaren. He's currently in 17th. The Swiss Motorsport 444 BMW currently in 18th place. I thought he was behind the other driver, so he must have fallen back a little bit here. The Super Swede Racing team of Learman Waring, he is currently in 19th place, only just behind the BMW here. Ninja, I suppose, can't be waiting to get into that car there. And then we have Nelson in the the 395 Ferrari. He's currently in 20th place in the CRT team. The second of the Time Zone Racing team, Shadow, currently in 21st place. Now, he was 25th at one point, so he is starting to slowly make his way up the order. So Shadow is making moves here. I'm sure he will keep trying as the race goes on to move up the order. And then Boa Basso and the Tartan Army, currently residing in 22nd place in the 116 Aston Martin. Matt Cooper in that is the other high caliber racing team. They are currently in the this is the 720 McLaren, but it is the number 97 McLaren. They are currently in 23rd place. We do know that K1 Wilson has pitted in the other Euro Titans Endurance team. Now his teammate having a much better go of it in 7th place. But yeah, K1 Wilson is going to try and start to claw some of that time back. He is half a minute behind, but obviously don't forget he has pitted, so he should move up a few places as the race unfolds. The Velocity the Velocity Endurance Junior team currently in 25th place, and then we have the 26th place of the OW Racing. So it looks like we have had Clopty one person forfeit the race, because we did start with 27 drivers. We now have 26. I'm going to go back to the high caliber racing teams. It looks like they have lost that place to Weenity. So Weenity and the Super Swede racing team has made its way up into 13th place, overtaking high caliber racing. High caliber racing still doing a good job here, holding out in the top 15. I'm seeing here Juvalainen has also made his way past Sylph, so he was up there behind now, so he has made it. So Juvalainen now moves up to 5th place, so we will start to potentially see these drivers pitting shortly as we're coming up to the hour. We have 6 minutes to go till the hour, and I think Corp said there is a drive-through penalty if you go over the hour, so we should start to see all these drivers come in the pits over the next couple of laps. But yes, Juvalainen in the Northern Lights Racing McLaren has made his way up into 5th place. I think he's got a long gap to the drivers ahead, so we see Fanatic is currently in the 787 Exclusive Esports car in 4th. Now as Juvalainen goes across the line, he is 11.7 seconds back. We can still see some rain here. We can see the rain lightening up over the next 10 to 30 minutes. Actually, just as I say that, you can see that the rain is going to stop or slow down in the next 10 minutes and then stop in the next half an hour. So this is going to be an interesting one, guys. So so Clopty, this is a good one. This is what makes it really interesting. So the rain is going to stop in the next 10 to 30 minutes. All your drivers have got to pit in the next 10 minutes or so. So we are going to see probably 2 pit stops in the next 20 or so minutes, because the track is currently where it is raining, but in the next half an hour it is going to stop raining. So that is going to really mix things up, I think. risk versus reward. How long do you stay out for the wet tyres for? Do you just pit in a minute and just put dry tyres on, hoping that the track's going to dry up? Like, there's a lot of strategies to consider here. As we can see that, yeah, Cozy Learner is still leading this race, and he's staying out there for the minute with 5 minutes up to the first hour. Yeah, see, Clopty said the same thing as me, or gamble the dry. So you can see on the, for anyone that is new to ACC or just not sure exactly, you can see up in the top of the screen on the right-hand side where you see the race timer. If you move over a little bit to the left, it tells you the wind, the track temperature, and then a little bit over to the left of that, you can see a clock that tells you what the current conditions are on the track, what it will be like in 10 minutes and what it will be like in half an hour. That's how I know that the rain is going to stop in the next half an hour. So, like Clopty said, do you take a gamble and just put slicks on and race around on a greasy track for the next half an hour? I honestly would say don't do that, because I think the rain is going to be going for at least another 10 or 20 minutes. Yeah, Clopty saying that some cars did pit. Yeah, so you are right, Clopty. Yeah, so some drivers, like, well, Cozy Learner didn't. See, Clopty, this is where your strategy is going to maybe unfold a little bit here, because Cozy started on the wet tyre, which means he has to pit in the next 4 minutes, otherwise he is going to get a drive-through penalty. But the likes of like HSR Storm and Aresh, they all pitted after 5 to 10 minutes. So they could stay out for another 5 or so, for another 10 minutes after this timer and actually see if the rain does dissipate. And that would mean then that they might actually then get past the Exclusive Esports, because they have to do one less pit stop, because obviously they can just go straight out on the slicks. Now, I don't know if I've got that completely wrong, but I think that works that way. So actually that could... well, we could get a bit of juicy racing in the next 20 or so minutes, guys. I love a bit of variable weather, because it really does mix things up a little bit. But, yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how that goes. Let's ride with the stick for a bit. As we see, one of the drivers are going in the pit lane now, so that was ahead of the stick there. There was one driver opting to go into the pits. I can't see who it was. There we go. So it is the High Caliber Racing team. High Caliber is going in the pits, so he is now opting to swap drivers, which they have to do. Like obviously we've been saying, that if you don't pit after your 1 hour timer ends, you do then get a penalty. So let's see what, the High Caliber team, well, obviously they're going to have to pit again in about 10 to 20 minutes for wet tires, so for dry tyres, but then that might mean that the next driver will extend his stint, so that is another thing to consider as well. We can see a lot of the drivers are starting to pour in the pits now, guys, so we'll have loads of new drivers coming out there, getting used to the conditions. It's a horrible time to come out on the track, because if you've been practicing for the race and you've been practicing the dry and you've got to come straight out in the wet, that might give you a little bit of a shock, because we did see a lot of the drivers do spin out at the start here. But yeah, the stick of the Time Zone Racing team, so they are currently 10 hours ahead. So they're about to reach, was it, so be 3 o'clock. So it's going to be, what, like 1 o'clock in the morning there? Is that right? So, yeah, they're going to be pretty tired out there. So they have 2 drivers in this race. One of them currently in 15th and one of them down in... one of them in 19th, actually, sorry. So, yeah, so actually Shadow Gaming is pulling up the order. But obviously, there are drivers coming in the pits here. So, I presume we're going to see the leader pit shortly. So, there is 1 minute and 52 seconds to go. So, I'd imagine Cozy is going to pit this lap. This is what I was saying to you before, guys. You want to keep your best drivers out there for as long as you can. Because, obviously, they're the ones that are going to be putting the best lap times in. And Klopp is saying, just as an FYI for people that are watching or new to ACC, every single driver in the team has to do at least one stint. So that doesn't mean that Cozy might actually end up doing more than one stint for Exclusive Esports, but I'd like to think that Exclusive have got really good cast of drivers, so I think all of their drivers will all do a stint each. But as you can see now, Sylph going in the pits in 6th place. Patrick still holds the fastest lap, and he will have to pit shortly soon as well, I think. I think the only 2 drivers that actually stayed out are Sylph and Cozy Learner. But I'm just going to ride with Cozy now and see if he pits this lap. HSR Storm did pit a little bit later, so we will probably see Storm and maybe Aresh stay out for a little bit longer. But that's not always a guarantee, because obviously they might just stick to their hour stints. But they have closed the gap to Cozy, so Cozy is coming around now. He should pit this lap. And as we said, there he goes into the pits. So this will be the next driver going in. Klopty, can you fill us in on who's taking the seat next? Also, I presume that means that, I think Aresh will stay out. So Aresh will actually, this will be the first time this race that the Swister 555 Motorsport team will take the lead of the race. So they're going to stay out, and this will be the first lap led for the Aresh for Swister, the 555 team. HSR Storm is going to come around now. He'll stay out as well. And then, Fnatic, I presume he will stay out as well. Because I think Fnatic was one of the drivers that did actually pit when the rain started. So, yeah, so you can see Cozy still in the pits now. So I don't know who's coming in next. Klopty saying that Fast Fanatical is coming in now. So we'll see what Fast Fanatical can do. And see what kind of pace he can do compared to... I mean, Cozy's an alien. Nobody's going to keep up with Cozy's pace. But, we'll see what goes on there. So, at the minute, that means that Aresh, like I said, is now leading the Endurance Series race at Valencia. Like I said, guys, this is round 5 of 6. We have just completed our first hour. We have 5 hours to go. You have me for another hour and a half. And then I'll be passing you over to the lovely, lovely tones of Klopty for the next, I think he'll do the next hour and a half or something, or 2 hours, and then I'll be back again for the last little bit. HSR Storm is currently in second now, only 2.7 seconds behind, and then, Fnatic is in third, and then we have Juveline now into 4th place, and Kozilin has come back out by the looks of it in 5th here. He's 12 seconds back by the looks of it on Juvelainen. No, sorry, he hasn't settled in yet. So, we have Kai in the 666 Weister Ferrari, Fast Fanatical. As you can see now, he's now in 7th place. So he has pitted, and it'd be interesting to see how I can't remember the exact time that the drivers pitted, but I think you are right. I think it was after about 3 laps or so. So it's probably about 4.5 to 5 minutes in. So they will be able to extend their stint by about 1 or 2 more laps. And then obviously it should all settle itself back out again. But there's a lot of drivers all pitted here. We can see the MCR. I do love a bit of MCR. He's a really good driver. He has pitted. He's currently in 12th place for MSA Motorsports. Sylph did a great job in that first stint, keeping the car up in the top 5, top 6. Sylph, obviously, once all the pit stops happen, it'll work itself out. But he currently finds himself in 12th place, and he's just going to try and find a nice little groove, nice little rhythm. And then, he'll find himself, potentially back up into the top 10. Where, again, we'll have to see how far that Patrick can go for as well. I don't know if he's going to opt to pit in now, but no, he's staying out for 1 more lap at least. And we also have Liam Manwaring currently up into 17th place. He is only 0.6 of a second behind the BMW of the Schweizer Motorsport 444. It's really funny that the driver's name is BMW and he's driving a BMW, so it is confusing sometimes. But Liam Manwaring here putting the pressure on the BMW for what is going to be 16th place. And then we will see Ninja take over, who you do see in the chat as Mindless Shark. So Ninja will take over from Liam Manwaring shortly. And then we'll see what Ninja can do and see if he can keep their guys up in the top 20. Yeah, Klopty saying that this next stint is going to be an interesting one. I'm inclined to agree with you, Klopty, because between now and the next half an hour, the track is going to dry. There'll be no more rain. It's going to be greasy. So there'll be a lot of call on when you pit from wets to slicks. And obviously, if you get that call right, you're going to get loads of places on the in the race. If you get it wrong, it's going to not work in your favour. So yeah, I will be curious to see how that all unfolds, and this next hour is going to really, really start to paint a picture of who's going to do well in this race and who's not. But then again, it's a 6-hour race, guys, so I think you'll see a lot more user error in the last couple of hours than you will at the start. So obviously we should see people like like I said, Liam's going to go in the pit soon. He's going to swap over for Ninja. Ninja should be fresh as a daisy. But obviously when it comes to their second stint or their third stint, that's when they're really going to start to get a bit groggy, because you can't really just, you can go and have a power nap if you want, and the real drivers do it as well. It would just be a case to see how they how they handle that kind of these long kind of stints, because I always find myself, like, the longest races I used to do is about an hour or 1.5 hours. and obviously that would just be a one straight shot 90-minute race. And I really found that in the last half an hour of that, I used to start to, my lap times were starting to get worse. I was starting to get tired. I was starting to make silly mistakes. So when you think about that multiplied by 3 or 4, you know, it becomes a lot more difficult to maintain the kind of really, really good lap times. And sometimes you will see people just making really, really silly mistakes, and or just taking it a lot more easy, so you can't have that clinical edge. You can't really push the drivers as, you know, you can't push the car as much as you want to, because you just don't have that kind of mental focus. So that will play its part as the race unfolds as well. Let's have a little look at the back then, guys. So let's have a little ride with Dunwayne and the OW Racing team. He is currently in 25th place. Now, we do know they pitted, but obviously they also had a drive-through penalty, so they fouled down the order a little bit, because they, unfortunately, they just sped in the pit lane, as we can see a car trying to get himself past there. It does say that High Caliber is still racing in the High Caliber Racing team. I don't know if anyone in the chat can confirm if High Caliber is... Oh, as we see, OW Racing spin out. So I'm cursing a lot of drivers here, guys. It seems to be, but this is an example of the track getting greasy. But again, we don't know if he's on slick tyres or whatever. But yeah, can someone confirm though that with the High Caliber, is he still racing on? Is he doing a second stint? Is he racing by himself? Yeah, because I suppose some drivers will be doing, as we see a lot of drivers coming in the pits now, guys. So we can see we have Juvalainen in the 977 Northern Lights Racing team. He is coming in the pits now. We also have STR Esports. We have the Eresh and the Schweister Motorsport team. Actually, but it looks like HSR Storm is staying out for another lap. So that is curious, because I presume his timer is going to be ending soon. Because he pitted at the same time as the Porsche driver. But I think Arash has had a really good stint here. I think he's going to be really, really happy with what he did there. And I think the next driver coming in... Oh no, is he a drive-through penalty? Or is he just pitted? What has happened there? Did he... He didn't pit, did he, guys? He just drove through the pit lane and came back out, right? I'll keep an eye on that one in a minute. He may have pitted. I may have just caught it late. But his icon hasn't gone green as if he has pitted. And... because if you... Clawpty, again, you might have to quickly remind me here. But if you get 4 corner cut warnings, you get a stop and go penalty, right? Or do you get a drive-through penalty for cutting the corner 4 times? I thought it was a stop and go penalty. So that... I'm curious about that. Did he get pushed in the pit lane? Yeah, Klopp saying because he didn't swap the driver. Yeah, but surely he had to have changed his tyres, no? All I'm thinking is it didn't come up with green, because normally when the people pit, it comes up with green. I'm not sure, but oh well. I'm sure it's fine. As we see HSR Storm coming in the pits now as well. Fast Fanatical currently finds himself in 6th place. He was the lead driver at the obviously when Cozy Lerner came in. He does find himself behind obviously Kai in the Swister 666 Ferrari, but obviously that doesn't matter too much because he needs to pit again. But maybe the Swister Motorsport 666 car is trying to play. Oh, as we see, so Weber get a drive-through penalty as well. So another driver, the High-Tech E-Racing team, have got a drive-through penalty as well. So that's going to slow him down a little bit as well. As we can see now that the Fanatic is in as well, but no, I don't know if you're right, Clawpty. Okay, I'm just reading Clawpty's message there, but no, because if Arash would have pitted properly and change his tyres, there's no way he's running that tyre. There's no way he's running a tyre for 2 hours. You wouldn't be able to, right? So he cannot be in first place and have done a pit stop correctly. That makes no sense, in my opinion. because he is so far ahead of everyone else as well, and everyone else is pitted, so Storm's pitted as well. So obviously that will all work itself out in a minute, and we'll see where Fast Fanatical comes in to this. Looks like this cut. I think Fast Fanatical, who was leading this race by, well, Cozy Lerner, who was leading this race by 20 seconds, now finds himself behind HSR Storm in this race. I'm confused here, guys, because this isn't add up to me, because both those drivers have stayed out ahead. But or does driver swap take a minute? Is that what it is? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what I'm missing here? Yeah, Ronda Power saying maybe he just did a drive-through because it will be dry in 30 minutes and he's switching to dry tyres. Yeah, so Ronda or Clawpty, can you confirm that for me as well? So if you just drive through the pits, does that mean that you can just... Does that reset your timer, basically, is what I'm asking? Do you have to stop in the pits, or can you just drive through it, and does that reset your timer? If someone can answer that for me, that'd be great. We can see that 2 drivers have picked up drive-through penalties. The Schweister Motorsport 888 car and HT Weber in the High-Tech E-Racing car obviously picked up the drive-through penalty. So... okay, so yeah, so Ronda Power, okay, there you go. Right, okay, so now I've got to the bottom of it. So Aresh and HSR Storm will be on really old 1 hour long tyres, wet tyres, but they've called it right because the rain is going to stop in the next half an hour. They have just opted to stay out and reset their timer for another half, for another half an hour because it just makes sense because obviously everyone's going to have to go in, even Fast Fanatical. So actually, this has actually worked out. I wonder why Exclusive Esports didn't do that in the 788 McLaren. But at the minute, it looks like, yeah, the Schweister Motorsport team has now actually got the net lead of this race because we do assume that Fast Fanatical and Fanatic are still going to have to both come in and pit again. But then obviously so everyone's going to have to pit in again for the dry tyres. So, yeah, you can see that, yeah, Juveline has stayed out there as well. So a lot of people calling strategies here. So we did say that this is what would happen. There would be a lot of strategy calls out there. And obviously a lot of the main drivers have opted to stay out. Yeah. I'm inclined to agree with you, Ronda, because if it wasn't right, then they would have all had penalties by now. So you can see that a lot of these drivers, the Northern Lights Racing Team, the Schweister Motorsport and Orion Racing have all opted to keep their fastest drivers out there for a little bit longer. Yes, they're on obviously older tyres, and that will mean that, yeah, Fast Fanatical can close the gap down. But obviously... It will give people the opportunity because it looks like the rain is slowing down, and hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so it will stop. And then obviously this means that the race has really closed itself up. So this has been a good call by Storm and Aresh and everyone like that. So I presume the Exclusive Esports wouldn't have known they were going to stay out like that. But it has now meant that it has technically lost Cozy Lerner and Fast Fanatical, the 788 Esports team, Exclusive Esports team. So they have now lost the net lead of this race. They're now actually, Storm is now 24 seconds behind Aresh. And this has really, really played into Aresh's hands. Obviously, because Storm, as we do know, did spin out, following a back marker earlier. That's what's lost in that time. But, this has really helped Schweister Motorsport really get a grasp of this race. But something tells me there's going to be a lot more to come here. And I'm just looking here now, as we can see the 314 Euro Titans Endurance car is now closing the gap on Juveline. And now we do know that Juveline is on old tyres. So this would mean that... that obviously the fresh tyres here might give him a better go here. As we can see him diving down the inside, he is going to make a move, and that will put him up into net 6th place. Whilst this has all been happening, Patrick has opted to stay out as well, and he now finds himself up into 9th place. He's about 1.4 seconds off the back of MCR. So we can see MCR in the background here. So MCR, who is going to stay out, I presume. Well, no, he's going to have to pit as well. So a lot of the drivers here that have stayed out early and then obviously pitted... are going to find themselves falling down the orders. We can see here now on the weather update at the top, there with 10 minutes to go. In 10 minutes time, sorry, as you can see, the track has moved from wet to damp, and in 10 minutes time, that rain is going to stop completely. So we need to keep an eye on that as the race unfolds. I'm just looking here at Patrick putting the pressure on MCR here. Patrick with old tyres, MCR with new tyres. It'll be interesting to see what kind of pace differential they have. Patrick really working the back side of the Lamborghini here. Can he make a move in the next couple of corners? Is he going to line and pass up onto... Yes, you can see he's going to try and go around the outside here. That's fantastic grip for a car that hasn't actually pitted for new tyres. They're still side by side as they go down into the last couple of corners. Is he going to try to dive down the inside, or is he going to try and stay behind there and get the slipstream down into the first corner here? But Patrick really trying to make a move now on the Lamborghini and get himself up into 8th place in this race. He's still holding the fastest lap, so no one has gotten anywhere near that yet, but obviously they shouldn't because of the rain. I'd imagine as soon as this track dries out, we are going to start to see some more faster lap times pumped in. Yeah, Ronda's saying that if this does work, it'll be an absolute masterclass strategy call from Schwister Motorsport. I do agree that their tyres will be on the end of their life here, but yeah, we'll just see how that goes. But so we can't see that Patrick can't seem to get past at the minute. Let's just go and have a look at something else as we go down here. We'll get on. We'll stay in 1 more second. Is he going to get past? Oh, he's right up behind. Is he going to make a move now? He's trying his hardest to get through here, but he cannot make the move. I'm just going to let him have the next few corners. They have collided, so Patrick has hit the back of MCR. MCR remains unscathed. Patrick now is going to have to get himself back on. And is that going to allow... Where is... Yeah, he's miles ahead. So, yeah, so he's not going to lose any places, but he has lost all that momentum he has gained. We also have OGFX1 in the Super Swede Racing team. They are now half a second behind the Schwister Motorsport 333 McLaren. They are trying to make a move on here. Actually, you can see Super Swede Racing are in 15th and 16th. I'm not sure how far behind the second Ferrari is. We'll have a look in a second of Ninja. So this Super Swede battle is going to be quite interesting as the race unfolds because they now are, no cars apart. But I'm just trying to wait to see when Ninja crosses the line. Where is he? So Ninja's coming down now. So it looks like OGFX has got a good lead on Ninja, but Ninja we do know is a good fast driver, and he will start to pump those laps. And he's about half a second behind. So we'll keep an eye on that one as as this stint unfolds and see what happens there as well. To go to TGR Mello. Mello is currently 1 second behind the Velocity Endurance Racing team. He had to let a few back marks. Sorry. He was the back mark. He had to let a few of the lead drivers through, and he will now try and make a move to move himself up to 17th place in this race. Hopefully he can stay on the back of these two drivers and then move his way up the order. I'm also looking to see that Fanatic is now about 1.5 seconds. Actually, I think Fanatic has lost a place to the Ferrari of Kai. He was in 4th. He's now in 5th because I think it was... Yeah, so actually I think Fanatic has made a mistake there somewhere as his tyres are wearing out. The track is still damp, but obviously, like I said, over the next 10 minutes or so, that is going to change. But yeah, Fanatic, who is struggling with those tyres, is now down into 5th place with Kai of the Schwister Motorsport 666 Ferrari moving up into 4th place. We can see that Fast Fanatical hasn't actually managed to close that gap on HSR Storm, and Storm is now 4 seconds clear of the 788 McLaren. And Storm is still trying to work his way up towards Aresh. So actually, at the minute, if Storm can maintain this pace for the next 10 minutes or so, then I think, that the Schwister Motorsport and Orion Racing are going to find themselves in net first and second legitimately once all the pit stops have happened. There will be a lot more driver changes as well. So obviously, one thing that Fast Fanatical will have over Storm, Storm's replacement, is that obviously Fast Fanatical is out there getting used to the kind of surface, has been racing for a little bit, so he'll be in a much better rhythm than when the other drivers take over here. But he is currently 3.8 seconds back, so we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Fanatic is right on the back again of the 666 Ferrari of Kai, so let's see what can happen. Is he going to dive down the inside here? It looks like he is. Oh, he gets a little bit of a wobble on the 666 Ferrari, bounces over the curbs, and that does mean that Fanatic is now back into 4th place. And Kai for a little bit there, for about a lap or so, was leading in 4th place. He's now back down to 5th. Yeah, the 6th place driver is so far back here. Juvelainen is now falling back 10 seconds back. So Juvelainen is really, really struggling with those tyres. And yeah, MCI is going to see if he can start to close that gap down on him as well. Patrick, who was right at the back of MCI, is now 3 seconds back again. So he's going to start to close that gap down. And then once all the pit stops have happened, guys, in the next sort of 10 minutes or so, we will then go back through the order. If you are listening to the chat right now and you want to have a little bit of screen time for your driver, just put their names in the chat or put the car numbers or team name or whatever in the chat and I will give them a bit of screen time. Obviously, it's hard for me to keep up with everyone. That's right with Ant McVitie. Is that actually his name? Ant McVitie. That is quality. He is racing for the Tartan Army 116 Aston Martin. They've been steadily, I say, in the back, you know, the high 20s for most of the race. Obviously, they're about 3.8 seconds behind Shadow Gaming. The time zone racing teams are 20th and 21st. So it looks like maybe they're doing alternate strategies as well. I think one of them has done a driver change. The other one is trying to stay out on the tyres. But yeah, Ant McVitie here doing a good job here in 22nd, trying to chase down Shadow Gaming ahead of him in the 629 Ferrari. Mello, it looks like, has just made a move, or is about to make a move on the Velocity Racing driver here. He was 0.09 seconds behind. It looks like he hasn't actually made the move. The 72 McLaren just ahead of him here. This would be a pass 4 position. CRT versus Velocity Endurance. Has he got enough about him to get through? We'll keep an eye on this one for a second. When it could have been that Velocity has potentially passed, so Mello for the other way around, but sometimes I miss it. Yeah, so since Fnatic has got past Kai has dropped 2.6 seconds back here, but he is still doing a good job holding that 5th place spot. There is 2 Schwister Motorsport cars in the top 5 and 2 exclusive esports teams in the top 5. Orion is also in there as well. Actually, the Euro Time Endurance, the 314 McLaren of the two, there's a 313 and a 314. Now this McLaren has been doing a very good job, so kudos to these drivers. He is actually out there. He hasn't pitted yet either, so his tyres will be falling off a cliff, but he is maintaining a very good pace here. And actually, Juvelainen, who is a very, very good driver, I've watched him a few times. He's very, very quick. He's good. He seems to be really struggling to keep that McLaren dialed in on the aging tyres, whereas, I think it's Zirconium, I can't remember, I don't pronounce his name exactly, but he is doing a much better job on that McLaren, and he now finds himself, like I said, in 6th place. And yeah, he's good for it as well. MCR is closing the gap to Juvelainen, but Patrick is right up behind MCR again. So this is round 2 of this. Yeah, you see him flashing here now. So we do know that a few laps ago, Patrick tried to make the move on MCI, hit the back of him and spun out. Patrick is going to really want to try and make this move and get this one stuck. He is looking a little bit more aggressive this time. Let's see what he can do. He's going to come down. Is he going to dive down the inside of the hairpin? As he comes in the shot here, no, he's staying behind him. So it just looks like that the Lamborghini's got enough exit speed just to stop that McLaren from overtaking here. But Patrick clearly is the faster driver because he has closed that 3-second gap over the course of a couple of laps. He's going to do the same mistake again. So Patrick again has spun out for the 2nd time, chasing down MCR. He is going to be getting more and more frustrated in that car. He did all that hard work to get back up ahead, and now he's going to find himself having to chase down that timer yet again. So yeah, he is going to be furious with himself. That's the 2nd time that's happened, and yeah, he's now lost 11 seconds in that little spin. As I see K1 Wilson here, sorry, it says it right up behind the BMW, and as he comes on there, he does make the move. So that is K1 Wilson in the other Euro Times Endurance car, moving himself up to 11th place. Now, K1 Wilson was one of the drivers that did opt to change, drivers and tyres. So although they are going to have to pit again, as the rain has now stopped, guys, the rain has stopped. So we should now start to see the track dry up, and it'll just be a case of when people are going to make that call on when the track is dry enough to change the tyres. But yeah, Euro Times Endurance are having a good race here today. They have one driver in 6th place, one driver in 11th, and K1 Wilson is starting to make moves up the field here, especially with that damaged car, because they had a big crash early doors. So yeah, good driving by K1 Wilson as he starts to push on and maybe try and start to challenge that top 10 here. MCI is starting to close that gap on Juvelainen as well. He is now only 1.1 seconds behind. This is actually would be a pass for position. This is 8th and 7th on the track here. Also want to keep an eye on... yes, this is what I want to see. So, Ninja, who has swapped for Liam Manwaring. Now, Liam, obviously, and Ninja are what you class as the lead Super Swede racing team. And then OGX and... sorry, I forget the other driver's name. My apologies. Oh, Weenity. They are, technically the second team. Now, as you can see, Ninja is closing the gap on OGFX. So it was about half a minute, about 27, 28 seconds. It's now 17.6 seconds. So Ninja is doing a great job here of closing that gap to OGFX. And actually, what I suppose what Ninja will want to do is that regardless of what happens in this race, Ninja will want to make sure he beats the sister team, or the number 2 car, should we say. And yeah, Ninja is starting to close that gap quite good on OGFX. So by the end of this 1 hour stint, Ninja would have put Weenity would have put Liam Manwaring right on the back of Weenity if they do swap drivers again, if not ahead of him, and that will be see what Weenity and Liam Manwaring can do in the second stints here. But yeah, Ninja having a good drive here, and he is currently in 16th place in this race, and he's chasing down his sister car for what would be a top 15 spot. So we'll keep an eye on that one as it unfolds. Shadow Gaming now is, it looks like he's lost the position to Ant McVitie. Now we do know that Shadow Gaming is eking out those tyres because there was no point in pitting, whereas Ant McVitie, who does have the fresher tyres, is clearly making them work. However, we do know that all these drivers are going to have to pit. The track is still damp, but you can see all the windscreen wipers of these cars have stopped. So we do know that means the rain has completely stopped, and some point in the next sort of 10 minutes or so, once that track dries out, we are going to start seeing these drivers tumble in the order. It looks like OW Racing team are making the call early, and they're swapping to dry tyres. So it will be interesting to see how quickly you can get those tyres up to speed. Aresh at the start here, so just to mention this as well, so he does have that 25-second lead. HSR Storm has maintained the gap to Fast Fanatical in 2nd and 3rd place. Fanatic is in 4th, but yeah, this is where the team managers earn the big bucks. This is where they earn their $1 million money, because this is where they're going to have to start making the right calls. They need to start talking to their guys. I presume a lot of them will be in like Xbox chats and stuff. They need to be in there. And as we see, Fnatic is the first person of the lead drivers to make the call. So this is what I was saying. So Fnatic and Kai are diving in to swap their tyres to dry. If they make this call right, this could be a great undercut, because if the tyre is faster, then it will mean that they can go out there and start pumping in some much more competitive lap times. The good thing that Aresh has in the 555 Swiss Motorsport Porsche is that they do have a 25-second gap on the drivers ahead, so he does opt to pit in as well, so he's reacted to the guys pitting around him. But because he has that gap, either he could have, 1, extended his stint, or 2, he could have pitted earlier, knowing that he's going to give him the other driver's got a buffer to, if he is a 1 or 2 seconds slower for a couple of laps, it doesn't matter as much. But we can see that, all these drivers are in the pits now, so this is going to be interesting. I wonder if HSR Storm is going to react to this. No, HSR Storm is opting to stay out for a little bit longer, so he is not comfortable that track is dry enough to switch to the dry tyre. Now, obviously, he'll be talking to his team, talking to his teammate, and they'll be relaying this kind of information. But this is when it's going to start to, if it is called correctly, like I said, those pit stops will allow your driver to have an advantage. But obviously, if your other driver is a bit unstable on the kind of 50-50 conditions, it would make sense to keep your better drivers out there for a little bit longer. MCR is pitted as well, so MCR, who was holding 8th place, has now come in to switch to dry tyres as well. So the track is still saying it's damp out there, and we can see that, TGR El Mello, he is in as well. So a lot of these drivers are coming in. We haven't seen any. I haven't seen any drive-through penalties, which is good. This is where it's all going to start to get a little bit mixed up, guys, as it all starts to happen. So you can see that Patrick is back out there again. Obviously, he's going to try and stay out for a little bit longer as well. So some of these drivers you can see that HSR Storm has done 53 laps. He's done 1.5 hours on that one set of tyres. And he is going to have to want to pit soon, because that is a really, really long stint by any stretch of the imagination. Those tyres must be to be fair, those tyres are probably slicks right now. He can't have much grip left on those things. And we can see that Fast Fanatical has opted to stay out there as well. So this is the question now. So Fast Fanatical is only 1.1 seconds behind. Are they going to pit this lap? HSR Storm stays out. Fast Fanatical stays out as well. So these two drivers are staying out for a little bit longer. So HSR Storm's stint, which is because we have now reached the 1.5 hour mark. And he has stayed out for another lap at least. We can see is Zirconium. He is currently in 4th place in that Eurosports, the Euro Titan Endurance team there. So there are a few drivers opting to stay out for a little bit longer. What I would be curious to see is what kind of times the drivers that have pitted are setting. We can see that Zambi driver is now in the other McLaren. So actually, this is Patrick. So Patrick Segek is on. Oh, has he just hit Zambi driver there? I think, has there been a crash? I think Zambi has been rammed off the track by Patrick Segek there. As you can see him come back on the track there now. So Patrick Segek has hit the back of Zambi driver, and that is bad news for the 787 exclusive esports car. We can see the 555 McLaren car. So what I want to see actually is what kind of lap times these guys are setting compared to the other guys. Is it fast enough out there yet for the dry tyre? Is HSR Storm going to make a pit stop soon? I don't know. We'll find out soon. But Patrick looked like he tapped the back of Zambi driver there, and that's going to really annoy him there a little bit. So Zambi driver, who's just come onto the racetrack, is doing his first stint for the 787 exclusive esports team. Now finds himself down in 9th place, but obviously there are a lot of drivers ahead of him that haven't pitted yet. HSR Storm is coming around. Is he going to opt to pit this up? He is. Is Fast Fanatical staying out? So Fast Fanatical is opting to stay out there for a little bit longer. The track is still showing as damp as, HSR Storm does pit here. I am just going to take a 2-minute water break and use the restroom, so I'll be back in 1 second. We will ride you with Fast Fanatical. Actually, let's ride you with... is it Jandalf, who is in the lead, technically the net lead driver of this race. We'll ride with him for a moment, and I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Okay, everyone, I am back. Thank you for bearing with me. I just had to have a bit of a bit of a liquid to use the restroom because I'm not used to having to commentate for such a long period of time. My body needs to adjust. But we are out here today. We are still riding with Jan Dalf. Jan Dalf has moved up to second place in this race. It looks like, we can see the track is now saying it's gone from damp to greasy. Fast Fanatical has opted to stay out on a longer stint. I presume he still has wet tyres. But he is opting to try and make them last for as long as possible. Jan Dalf is, should then take the net lead of this race. Aiden 66, top driver Aiden, is now in third place, taking over from, I forget already. Yeah, he taken over from Storm. There you go. And then, we can see that Zirconium has stayed out as well. So the Euro Titans Endurance team are currently enjoying a very good race, I would say, today. They are out in fourth at the minute, but they haven't pitted. Juvelainen also hasn't pitted. He's 21 seconds back in fifth place, so I presume they are going to go in any minute soon. They seem to be extending that stint for as long as possible. I haven't seen many drivers ever take a tyre. That tyre's been on that car for over an hour and a half now, so I'd be shocked if there's any rubber left on that. The Cremator for Schweister Motorsport 66 is currently out in sixth place. He should take back net fifth once Juvelainen pits. LMW85 again. He hasn't pitted yet either in the STR Esports car. He will be going in, I presume, soon and having a well-earned rest. K1 Wilson, like I said, is having a good race so far. He has moved two Euro Titans Endurance teams up into the top 8. Really, really good driving by them. Zambi did have a little accident early doors. He is now in 9th place for Exclusive Esports. I think that's actually like a net, not a net 9th, but he has lost a lot of places. So that is he's going to have a lot of work to claw that one back. MCR is currently holding 10th place, rounding out the top 10 with the MSA Motorsport. He will have, Zidane is racing in the TTR team. So Zidane and Patrick, that's a good, there's a couple of powerful lineups here, guys. But Zidane is currently 11 seconds back from MCR. He is going to have to try and do what Patrick couldn't, and that is get past MCR on the track without crashing. So let's see what Zidane can do if he can close that gap down. But MCR might have the pace on Zidane, but we'll see as the stint unfolds again. We have 22 minutes before a lot of the drivers might be making the next change as well. We might see like an extended stint here as well. So we have I'm going to say Fuch, but I think it's Fox. I'm going to call him Fox. I'm pretty sure that is how you Fuch is Fox. He's 5.1 seconds back in 12th place for the Schweister 333 team. OGFX is currently in 13th place for the Super Speed Racing team. I'm not sure what's happened to Ninja here because he was, so Ninja looks like he's fallen. Ninja must have had an accident here because he's now down in 16th place. I presume, unless he's pitted and just the other guy hasn't yet. But OGFX was in, he's half a minute behind there, but there's only the 12th car, so I have to keep an eye on that one as well. I don't know what's happened there, but it looks like potentially Ninja's made a mistake somewhere and he's lost some places. But Ninja was always in 16th. It looks like OGFX has maybe made a few places up, but we'll work that one out in a bit. But we have another Schweister team car, the 888 BMW in 14th place, 12 seconds back from OGFX 1. And then we have Maurice in for the high-tech e-racing team. They did have a drive-through penalty earlier. They're now rounding out the top 15, 1.6 seconds back from the 888 BMW. Yeah, Ninja, flash your lights if you crashed, because I'm trying to work out what happened there. Because see if he'll flash his lights and let us know. Because he's lost so much time to OGFX, and he was closing that gap down. Now he seems to have tumbled down the order a little bit. So I'm not sure what's gone on there. Well, no, I suppose he actually is still technically about 17 seconds back. So maybe he hasn't. Maybe it's just those other two drivers have kind of filtered in between where they were. Shadow Gaming, so he's had a really long stint, so he's been on those tyres for well over an hour and a half, and he is now up into 17th place but has not pitted yet. So he actually finds himself back ahead of Ant McVitie, which is surprising there. But I think Shadow, he's like 1.5 minutes behind 16th place. and they find themselves in find themselves currently in 17th place though. What's this? Revenge is currently in 20th place in the time zone. The other time zone racing team, he has pitted obviously for new tyres. That is a new driver swap as well, so that is a net 20th place. But obviously there might be a few driver changes there. But yeah, time zone, if they could get both drivers in the top 20, I think they'd be happy with that. CRT or Team CRT, sorry, with Almelo is out there again. So obviously that was a driver swap early doors as well. But obviously he's come in and changed his tyres. But actually, interestingly here, I've just noticed on the radar in half an hour's time, heavy rain. So I presume that's going to coincide with a lot of people's pit stops. But in the next half an hour, there will be heavy rain again, guys. There'll be a lot of changes. I presume most people do driver swaps and tyre changes at that time. That'll be a nice bit of time for Clark to hit there. And then was it Hazza is currently in 22nd place for Velocity Endurance. They are ahead of the other high caliber racing team, who's that's Archerillo. He's currently in 23rd. And then the junior endurance Velocity Racing Endurance junior team, they're currently in 24th place. And then the other high caliber racing team. What's happened to high caliber racing? I thought High Caliber Racing were having a good race, but they now find themselves in 23rd and 25th. So I think High Caliber has had must have had an accident somewhere, because he finds himself right down the order now. And then OW Racing of Dunwayne, he is now last in 26th place. Well, actually, he's not dead last, because there was a 27th car that has dropped out. I'm not sure which driver that was. But yeah, there's rain due to fall in the next half an hour, so that is going to be quite interesting. As we can see now that Fast Fanatical has pitted, he has swapped over to the dry tyres, and Jan Dalf now has the net lead of this race again. So that was perfect strategy calling by them. Jan Dalf now on the 60th lap of this race. We've had about an hour and 40 minutes of this 6-hour endurance race. Aiden is currently in second for Orion Racing, so those two made some really good strategy calls, but Fast Fanatical is right behind Aiden, so these two are going to be racing it. Let's see what they can do. But this will be a pass 4 position in this race. It is crazy if you think about it. After an hour and 40 minutes of racing, that the second and third are separated by 0.8 of a second. So that just goes to show you how good these drivers are. Zirconium is currently holding 4th place for Euro Titans Endurance, and then Juvelainen is in 5th here. So I presume maybe they have pitted for tyres, because surely those tyres can't be lasting this much, or unless the tyres are just doing good because it's greasy, and they've got slick tyres now. I'm not sure, but what is going on out here that we can have a look at? So K1 Wilson is in a bit of a argy-bargy here with the looks like his teammate here. So is that the 314 and the no? It's not. Is it? Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's 2 of the cars here, and I don't know if one of them got in the way of the other one. But K1 Wilson is looks like he's either made the move. I can see that Zirconium has gone in the pits now. I was going to say, so Zirconium is almost, so that Euro Titan Endurance team is almost a lap ahead of their counterparts K1 Wilson. So they should find themselves easily back up into the, still staying in the top 10. But looks like that means that with all the pit stops that happened, there is 2 Euro Titans Endurance races teams that are both in the top 10. So that's really, really good racing by them. So Dan has managed to close that gap to MCR down to 2.7 seconds. So let's, like I said earlier, that Patrick had 2 attempts at trying to pass MCR and failed both times, having spun out both times. So we will be interested to see if Zidane can do what Patrick couldn't. I'm looking here. It says Bondenai in the STI Esports car. He is 0.6 of a second behind K1 Wilson here. So this is a raceful position here. So I want to see if anything happens here. So the Ferrari is just behind the McLaren, 0.6 behind. Let's see if that gap extends or shrinks down. It looks like it's staying around about, it's 1.2 behind. Now, there's a driver facing backwards there. I don't know which driver that was. It's the 427 car. That is High Caliber Racing. So High Caliber Racing has had a spin here. Looks like he's got a bit of damage to the right-hand side of that car. So he was currently in 25th place. He's now had a spin, and that is not going to making his day go from a little bit bad to worse here. I suppose they do know, a lot of these drivers do know there's a... is he coming in the pits now? He's opting to stay out. No, he's staying out again. So he's actually been passed by OW Racing now. So High Caliber Racing is now the last car in this race. There is a bit of, just trying to find what our drivers is, the 444 car. Yeah, so around about here there is a bit of racing going on. So we have, the 444 BMW, and that is, it looks like he's got a McLaren behind him. There's quite a few cars here, there's about 3 or 4 of them all together in a line. I can't pronounce this guy. I think it's Fitzer in the 444 Schwitzer Motorsport car. He currently, he's 20 seconds behind Shadow. Shadow, I don't think has pitted yet. Well, he must have pitted because he's, he can't have made those tyres last this long, surely. But, he's, currently chasing down 17th place here. He has Ank McVitie about 6 seconds behind. But it looks like all the cars that he's racing with here are, either on a different lap to him. But I want to see, yes, we can see that Sedan is closing that gap. I don't want to miss that overtake, but it looks like Sedan is going to have a go at MCR in the next couple of laps here as well. Aiden is still chasing down Jandal for the lead here, but Schwitzer Motorsport do have this the reins of this race currently. They are doing quite well in these greasy conditions, and we do know there is rain planned in the next half an hour, so I am curious to find out who's going to get the strategies right next time. This on and off rain is quite good, as we see, there's K1 Wilson getting past the back marker there. K1 Wilson currently in 10th place. So Wilson is 11.2 seconds behind Zidane, but he is comfortably in the top 10. And his teammate Zirconium has come out in 7th. So Zambi driver has found himself back up into 6th place. He is chasing down the Schwitzer Motorsport car in 5th, but he is some way back, but we'll see how that goes. As we see one of the that looks like one of the Super Swede cars going off the track there. That is OGFX going off the track. Is that going to allow, that is allowed a GRT sash through, and it looks like the McLaren of Fox is coming around the last corner now, so, and the Ninja is behind him. So Ninja was closing that gap on OGFX, but it looks like he has started to fall off a cliff in regards to performance and pace, as we do see one of the McLarens behind him putting some pressure on here now. But Ninja was looking like he was getting closer and closer to OG, but I think he is he's now, he's still 17 seconds, so I think that gap is holding around about 17 seconds, but we have to remember that OGFX has just crashed into the a runoff there into the sands. He has lost about 5 or so seconds. Is this ORT Callum saying I'm rooting for ETE? So you're rooting for, so to be fair, they are my team of the day so far, because I'm pretty sure they had a bit of a bad start here, but Euro Titans Endurance have got themselves into 7th and 10th place in this race, and they are having a good little race here, so they are doing a good job, and I'm impressed with them. So I am with you here, Callum. I think they're doing a really good job. I mean, to be fair, if they can get both cars... Let me just... whilst we've got you here, Callum, obviously, see you say... we'll give him a bit of screen time here. Let's give K1 Wilson a bit of screen time. But let's see where they are in the championship, because this could be a really good day at the office for them. So, one of the... Again, I can't specifically see which drivers are which, but I do know that one of the Euro Titans teams is currently in 16th place in the championship. And I think the other Euro Titans team is where are you? The other Euro Titans, the B team, is currently in 26th place. So both of the drivers are 16th and 26th. I can't tell you which order's which, but for both of the drivers that are currently 16th and 26th in the championship to finish in the top 10 of this race, that would be a really, really good race for them. So I think, I'm hoping they do quite well. I'm just going back to Sedan here. Sedan has made his way past MCR. He is trying to make his way past MCR now. I think, no, he already has. So I missed that overtake. Annoying, because I was going to look at that. Callum is saying it's his first time watching ACC. Well, welcome, Callum. Welcome to the 6-hour endurance race. This is round 5 of 6 of this series. But ACC is a much better game than F1. I'll tell you that for a start. I do know K1 Wilson does race in F1, but I would argue that ACC is a much more enjoyable racing simulator. The points, obviously the points in ACC, there isn't really points in just in normal kind of lobby races. But in this championship, there are 39 teams that are competing over the 6 events. Of those 39 teams, 27 were competing today. Now, I can tell you, in regards to points being scored, the first place driver gets, the first place team, gets 175 points. It's 160 for second, 150 for third, 140, 135, 130, 125. So it goes down like tens and fives all the way down from 175 points. So at the minute, you're looking like, let's say, Zirconium would be on for what would be 125 points, and K1 Wilson would be getting 110 points. So that'd be 2 fantastic hauls of points for those 2 drivers. Now you also get 5 points for the fastest lap of the race. The fastest lap of the race is currently owned by Zidane and Patrick in P8. But I would say at the minute, because of how they're positioned in 16th and 26th in this championship, I would argue that Euro Titans Endurance are going to have a really good day, and they're going to find themselves closing up to that top 10 in the championship after this one. Callum saying that would be a lot for F1. Yeah, it would be. So in this, the exclusive esports, the 788 exclusive esports car, so the car that's currently in 3rd place here, so Fast Fanatical. Fast Fanatical is currently leading, or his team are leading this championship. They have 710 points. They have this is round 5 of 6. They have one more race after this. At the minute, if they finish third, they're looking at about 150 points. So that'll take them up to about 860. But I think they also got poles. They'll probably be over 900 points by the end of this race. So they might even get 1,000 by the end of this championship. But it's all relative, because obviously everyone can score the same kind of points. What Claupty is alluding to. So IXR and XCL are doing like a joint championship here, but this is a XCL hosted event in regards to the XCL servers. Now XCL, if you're interested, Callum, is the Xbox Community League. You can visit that and sign up to the league at xboxcommunityleague.com. You can also join their Discord server. Now, XCL do races, including this one, every single day. They do 3 to 4 races a day. And what you do, you start off with a rookie license, and then basically you earn points based on how you finish against the people around you. And then as you move up your points, if you get over a certain amount of points, you then become a rookie driver. Then you get a silver classification license, then a gold, then a platinum. So like you can actually race with people of your similar abilities, because sometimes they'll do like rookie only races, bronze only races. So if you are interested in getting into ACC and you want to race with a nice competitive lobby of people of similar ability to you, I would say go on to xboxcommunityleague.com, sign up to XCL, join the Discord channel and just get involved. It's such a friendly community, and who knows, maybe if you're lucky enough, I will broadcast one of your races in the future as well. Yes, so Cam, to answer your question as well, yeah, this is a team endurance championship, but XCL do solo races on a daily basis, and there are solo championships as well. So you don't have to have a team, you don't have to race as part of a unit, you don't have to even be that good at XCL, to be honest, so good at ACC. XCL will just do solo races, and there are rookie-only races every couple of days as well, so you can easily get involved, and you'll probably see me in some of those rookie races as well. But yeah, don't be afraid. ACC is a bit of a daunting game to get used to, because it is a proper racing simulator, but the more laps you do, the more you speak to people, they'll share setups with you, they'll give you tips and stuff, and everyone's really, really helpful, and then you'll really, really enjoy it. I'm sure you will. But we've got we're just coming up to the 2-hour mark of this 6-hour endurance race. Let me just run you through the order, and we'll just I think we're coming up to, in the next half an hour, I can't wait for a little break, Claupty, but Claupty will be taking over the stream for until about 1 hour left, so I'll be looking forward to going into his stream instead and listening to him rather than having to talk. This is probably the longest bit of talking I've ever done. But at the minute, Jandalf, with a masterstroke strategy, staying out and not changing drivers or changing tyres, now finds himself on lap 68 of this race in the 555 Swiss Motorsport Porsche, in the lead of this race. I think he has about half a minute lead over Aiden 66 and the Orion Racing 549 McLaren. Fast Fanatical, who did get pole position and was leading this race for a long time, finds himself currently in third place, chasing down Aiden. We have Cremator for another Schweister East Motorsport car in the 66 Ferrari, currently 8.5 seconds back in fourth. Juvalainen is still out there doing his second stint now. He is in fifth place, about 4 seconds back from the Ferrari. Having a good race here. Zambi, who finds himself now currently in sixth place, is 6.3 seconds back, trying to close down Exclusive Esports, currently in third and sixth in this race. Euro Titans Endurance, as you see him going a little bit wide there. He is Zirconium is currently racing the 314 McLaren. He is P7. Zidane is chasing him down currently. It's about probably 10-15 seconds behind as he crosses the line. We'll wait and see, but based on the distance, I would say about 10-15 seconds. Yeah, 12 seconds, there you go. I've been doing this for too long, boys. Yeah, he's 12.7 seconds behind. Currently owns the fastest lap of the race. That is worth 5 bonus points. MCR is 5 seconds back in ninth. And then K1 Wilson and the Euro Titans Endurance rate, his teammate is currently in 10th place, 4.4 seconds back on MCR. We'll just have to go back into. I don't know if I had a. Could someone just double check my audio, guys? Can you still hear me? I just had a bit of a party fault there, guys. Can someone just confirm that they can hear me, please? Just want to make sure I can still get the stream through before I keep talking anymore. Yes, cool. Yeah, so for some reason I just got evicted from my party. I guess if you've been talking for... I guess if you've been talking for 2 hours straight, the Xbox party says, mate, you've been talking for too long. You need a break. So that, but I've got half an hour left of my stint, and then Klopty's taken over. But just to go through the rest of the order then, guys. So Bound and I, for the STR Esports 373 Ferrari, is currently in 11th place, 7 seconds back from K1 Wilson. Maurice in the High-Tech E-Racing cars, he just spins out there. Is that... No, I don't know who that was spinning out there. Was that... I'm not sure who that was, but someone just spun out right in front of Maurice here. High-Tech Racing are currently in 11th... the number 11 Ferrari in 12th place. They did have a drive-through penalty earlier, but they are currently doing quite well in 12th place here. Sash in the Switch the Motorsport 88 BMW, currently 23 seconds back in 13th place. Fox in the 333 Switch the Motorsport car is chasing down his teammate about 4 seconds back currently. OGFX is the leading Super Swede racing team Ferrari, currently in 15th place, rounding up the top 15. We have the 444 Swiss Motorsport car 5.5 seconds back, and then we have Shadow Gaming, who's having a fantastic race so far. I'd say he was at one point he was 25th in this race. He's now up to 17th place, chasing down 16th. So big shout out to Shadow Gaming of Time Zone Racing. We do know they are racing from Australia as well, so a fantastic effort for them because it's probably something like 2-3 in the morning there. So they're doing a really, really good job. Shadow Gaming, trying to chase down here the BMW to get himself up into P16. Mello in the Team CRT, they are 18th place currently, chasing down the Time Zone team. And then we have the second Super Swede Racing team. They are about 5 seconds back from CRT in 19th place currently. That is Ninja racing with his teammate Man Waring. We have Hazza currently in 20th place, 3.1 seconds back from Super Swede, chasing them down. Actually, I think he's right behind him here now, actually. So as I say that, it looks like that Hazza is going to try and make a move on Ninja. This is a move for 19th place in the race, and he does make it stick. He's got the inside line for the next corner. Can he make that one move stick? Yeah, it looks like Ninja has yielded that position, and that is as we were on the stream there. Hazza makes the move on Ninja. Ninja drops down the 20th place, and Hazza up to 19th place for Velocity Endurance Racing. Ant McVitie is currently 21st place in the Tartan Army Aston Martin. Arturillo is currently High Caliber Racing's leading driver in 22nd place. And then we have Revenge or Raf Revenge in the other Time Zone Racing team. He is currently in 23rd place, about 4 laps down from the leader. We then have the Velocity Endurance Racing Junior team. They're currently in 24th. And then we have OW Racing team in 25th, Dunwayne. So actually what is worth mentioning here, we now only have 25 cars. We've had 2 retirements in this race. One of the cars that has retired is the High Caliber of the High Caliber Racing team. Looks like he's quit this endurance race with 2. So we're just coming up to the 2-hour mark completed with 4 hours to go. So we have had 2 casualties so far. One of them is High Caliber of High Caliber Racing. I'm not sure who the other driver is, but yeah, let's just go back with Zambi. Zambi is chasing down Juveline and only 2 seconds back. Actually, it looks like Cremator is only half a second back from Fast Fanatical. Actually, has he passed him there? Yeah, it looks like actually Fast Fanatical maybe has made a mistake here, because Cremator is now ahead of the Exclusive Esports leading driver. And I think Fast Fanatical is now down into 4th place. There must have been a mistake there. And that means there is 2 Swister Motorsport cars in the top 3 of this race, sandwiched by Orion Racing sandwiched by the 2 cars. And I think Fast Fanatical is going to be disappointed there. He looks like he has made a mistake, as we have now surpassed the 2-hour mark with 4 hours to go. Yeah, Klopty's saying if I can talk only 10% of what Red Fox does, I'll have a good stream. I think I talk too much sometimes, but there's so much to cover all the time. So I'm just going back to here. Sash looks like he is making a move here on the 333 Fox McLaren. I'm going to keep an eye on this one for a minute. Yeah, it's been a good bit of racing, guys. It's I'm not sure who this benefits at the minute, but the is it the 555 and the so the car in first place, Jandalf, in the Swister 555 car, they are currently 3rd in the championship. Orion Racing is currently 12th in the championship. The 666 Royster car is 4th in the championship. The 788 car is 1st, and then we have the Northern Lights Racing team. They are currently 13th in the championship. And then Zambia and the 787 Exclusive Esports car, they are currently 2nd. So we do have a lot of the drivers in the top 5 are, having good positions in the championship. But like I said, the Euro Titans endurance cars, as we do see the OGFX in the Super Swede Racing team, they are making a pit stop. I don't know if that was a good call, if they could have extended that stint, because in 10 minutes time, or less than 10 minutes time, the track is going to start pouring down again. So these drivers have to pit now, are going to have to pit again in 10 minutes time, and that's not fantastic. So Ninja in the other car, if Ninja can stay out for a little bit longer, Ninja will be able to switch to wets, switch back to Liam Manwaring, and then Liam can come back out and drive in the wet conditions again, because it looks like it is going to rain in the next 10 minutes. Led Hot is saying he's enjoying the stream, keeping us well informed. I'm trying my best, Led Hot. It's not always the easiest job to do. And Wolf is back. Welcome, Wolf. We're just going to see if Ninja can do a master stroke strategy here, because if we can stay out for 10 more minutes, or even 5 or so more minutes, he can switch the wet tyres. They won't have to do a double pit stop, because these guys are picking now. So OGFX in the Super Swede, Tartan at Maviti, the High Caliber. Oh, High Caliber is back, so they didn't retire, must have had a dropout. But all these drivers that are pitting now, they obviously cannot extend their stint, but they are going to have to pit again in 10 minutes time when it starts chucking down with rain. And yeah, it's going to be it's a bad day for them if they have to pit now, because it's yeah, they are going to have to then pit again. Zirconium is doing a good job here, still in. Actually, I'm going back to Zambi here. Zambi is now only 0.2 of a second behind Juveline. It looks like he has no, he is right behind him here. Yeah, so this is Zambi on Juveline, and this is a pass for what would be 5th place in this race. Juveline is doing a full, like a 2-hour stint. He's now been in that car for over 2 hours. Juveline probably cannot wait for a rest. But Zambi is now right up behind him, 0.2 of a second. He's going to try and see if he can make it. Is he diving down the inside here? So it looks like, yeah, Zambi has made the move on Juvelainen. And he has now made the position. Yeah, Zambi is now up to 5th place in this race. He is now 1 position behind his Exclusive Esports partner. Fast Fanatical, since being passed by the Cremator, the 66 Ferrari. So maybe I haven't been keeping an eye on this, but maybe that Cremator driver is actually having quite a good race because yeah, he's actually pulling away from Fast Fanatical. So I don't know if the exclusive esports drivers have 3 drivers or 2, but I think once we see Cozy back in the car, he'll start to make moves back up the field again. I'm just going to keep up with the chat here for a second, guys. So 1 second. There's a lot of people messaging. As I think that is... Sorry, is that... it looks like Zambi is right behind Fast Fanatical now as well. So I think Fast Fanatical is falling off a cliff here. 93 Nelson. Hey guys, I've suffered a disconnection. I wasn't driving, but if I'm the first driver, my teammate is on the lobby in the lobby racing. Can I rejoin? Corpse is saying, yeah, there's no problem. If you're not driving, it is no issue. Both teams have 3 drivers. Okay, so I presume then that we'll see a 3rd driver for both the exclusive drivers. But actually, Zambi is right behind Fast Fanatical here now as well. So this is not actually ideal for them because the 788 car is leading the championship. But I presume the 787 car will want to try and close that gap in the championship going into the final race. So actually, in the space of 1 lap, Zambi has moved from 6th up into 4th place by the looks of things. I think he has now passed Fast Fanatical. I believe he has. I don't know. I think he has. I can't. The screen's exactly the same, so there's no way of telling. Yes, he has. Yes, Zambi has now passed Fast Fanatical. He's up to 4th place. So now the we'll say the 2nd in the championship car has passed the 1st in the championship car. And all the while, whilst these 2 cars are squabbling, the Schwichter cars are going to be more than happy for this to happen. Now, we do know that the 555 Schwichter car, who's currently leading this race, is currently 3rd in the championship, only 30 points behind the exclusive esports 787 car in 4th place. So this is a good battle going on, and there's now only 2 cars separating them. So as we can see, Juvelan has now pitted. Now, it has started to rain, guys. The track has gone from fast to green, so I think Juvelan then is going to pit now, swap drivers, and change 2 wet tyres, so it is going to start to get a little bit busy out here as we see Julian. I presume he is going to pick because he's been in the car now for 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah, we will start to see, I think, a lot of drivers diving in the pits now, as we can see that K1 Wilson has closed the gap to MCR. And is he now going to try and make a move and get himself up into what would be P9 in this race? He's right up behind in the slipstream, but obviously he's going to dive down the inside now. He is going to make the move down in the inside. So that is K1 Wilson making the move on MCR, moving himself up to 9th place in this race. That is Euro Titans having a fantastic race. They are currently 16th and 26th in the championship, currently racing what is 6th and 9th now in this race. Really, really good driving by these drivers. And Zidane now, obviously, he is up to P7 as well. I wonder now with the track has gone from fast to green to greasy, so this track is getting wetter by the second. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the lead drivers pitting anytime soon. Jan Dalf will probably be I don't know if he'll stay out for a little bit longer or whether he'll just swap drivers again. But yeah, this is getting really interesting now, guys. Is the lead driver going to pit this lap? No, he is staying out for 1 lap longer. Aiden, as you can see, is about half a lap behind currently. He is, yeah, we're currently at greasy. It's only a bit of light rain, so we do know that you can race on slick tyres in this light rain conditions. But yeah, we have seen, yes, Fast Fanatical has opted to pit as well. So I presume he's going to swap drivers to the next driver in line. And we can see that Shadow Gaming has opted to pit as well. So he's had a really good race from 25th up into 16th. Let's see how it all unfolds. It looks like both the Time Zone Racing teams have opted to pit as well. So this is yeah, good racing by them. And we can see that, yeah, the Zachronium is in now as well. So a lot of these drivers are now opting to, I presume, pit and change for the wet tyres. Jandalf and Aiden, yeah, Aiden is pitting now as well. So this is what I was talking about, guys. So sometimes if you're a bit further back down the track, like Aiden is, you have the option to pit a little bit earlier than the driver actually ahead of you, and it does act as kind of a much more, you know, kind of emphasised undercut. There's a lot of drivers diving in the pits now, so there probably will be a lot of change drivers as well. So we can see that K1 Wilson's in, Bound and I in the SI Esports and number 10th place is in. We can see the 444 BMW is coming into the pits now as well. Revenge is coming in the pits. So a lot of drivers are, yeah, with, yeah. I mean, we've had over 2 hours of this race, so I think we'll probably see a lot of driver changes as well. Zidane is opting, I think, to... Well, no, he's on the back end of the track, but he opted to stay out as well. And Zambi is... Let's see what Zambi does this lap. Is Zambi going to come in and change drivers or just change tyres? So a few more drivers diving as well. Looks like that was Cremator driving in. Yeah, Zambi's driving in. So there's a lot of guys coming in the pits now. Nothing silly. Does it look like Zambi's got a bit of damage on the front of that McLaren there? I'm not sure, but yeah. Oh yeah, so no, it looks like Jandalf is in as well. So, yeah, all the drivers are damp. Yeah, because it's gone to damp now. So clearly the rain is starting to impact. There's going to be a lot of changes out there to the order. But what will be is that obviously if there are like driver changes, there will be, can you get used to the conditions as you come back out? 93 Nelson saying it worked. He's back in, so that's fantastic. We don't like to lose any drivers, especially 2 hours into a race. But yeah, this is really, really good, guys. This is it's been quite an eventful race, but a lot of overtakes, a lot of action. We can see that we're going to have rain for at least the next half an hour, yeah. I tell you what though, I'm looking forward to having a bit of dinner, listening to Klopti's chat. So if anyone that's just tuning in or unsure what's happening, so in 20 minutes time, Klopti will be taking over the stream. I will raid his stream from this location once he's streaming and ready to go, and obviously I'll move all the streamers currently watching this stream over to his stream. He will then take over from 3.5 hours left in the race till about 1.5 hours to 1 hour, depending on when I come back into it. I have a child as well, so I need to get them to bed. But then with the last hour or so to go, I will take back over from Klopti, take the glory, and I'll run us in for the final hour. What we should be seeing now as well is actually because we started at 4 a.m. I think that means it's now going to be 6 a.m. or it's probably 6:10 a.m. in game time. So we should start to see the time of day go to a bit more daylight soon. We can see we've got heavy rain for the next 30 minutes or so. So this is going to be really interesting as it all goes in. But we can see now that now everyone's pitted. Their Resh is back out in the lead. He is currently on 78th lap. He is staying out for a little bit longer. Aiden is still about half a lap behind. He is holding second place. It looks like we had a driver swap of the 66 car. We now have is that Crocdale? He in the 66 car. He has got Zambi behind him. About 2 seconds back. So Zambi is now putting pressure on Crocdale to potentially get himself up into P3. This is what I was talking about as well. Obviously, the Cremator, the guy before racing the 666 car, obviously was in a rhythm. Zambi's been in the car for over half an hour now. So obviously, when you get a new driver coming in, it takes a while for you to get up to speed. So obviously, this is where Zambi can pounce and really try and put pressure on the driver ahead. We can see that Euro Titans in all of that action have made him. They've actually got themselves up to P5, guys. So Peninsula is now racing in the 314 Euro Titans endurance car. They are now P5 legitimately in this race. Partick is now in the car, in the Northern Lights Racing Team car, currently P6. And then Cozy Lerner is back in the other exclusive esports car. He is 1.3 seconds back. Now, we do know Cozy Lerner is a bit of an alien, so I would expect him to start making some moves on the drivers ahead. So there's been a bit of a slow pit stops there. K1 Wilson, all those pit stops, has made himself up into P8. And then Sylph is currently 9th place in the MSA Autosport Lamborghini. And then STR Eagles Baldonai in the STR esports car, so he is now in 10th place, and we have Zidane behind him in 11th. So Zidane is going to try and sort of close that gap down and get himself up into the top 10. They still hold the fastest lap of this race. Maurice is currently in 12th now in the high-tech e-racing car. We have Fox still in the 334, the 333 McLaren in 13th place. The 888 Schweister. To be fair, we have Schweister Motorsport, in 13th, 14th, and 15th place here. We have Social Jewel in the time zone Ferrari, currently still holding 16th place. So Shadow did a really good stint there for his teammate, and obviously, hopefully, Social Jewel can continue that trend. We have Hazard in the Velocity Endurance car currently in 17th place. Tyre God has taken over the CRT drive, and he's currently in 18th place. High Caliber Matt Cooper is currently in 19th place. And then we have Weenity back in the Super Swede Racing car in 20th place. And then we have Ninja in the other Super Swede car, 6 seconds back in 21st. Ant McVitie is currently still racing in the 116 Aston Martin in 22nd place. And then we have Stig in the other time zone racing car in 23rd. Dunwayne is currently in racing 24th place in the OW Racing Team McLaren. And then we have the Velocity Junior team in 25th place. And then we have High Caliber back in the race, 12 laps down, but they are currently 26th place. And we can also see that Claupty, the broadcaster, is now getting himself ready to take over the stream in 15 minutes' time. Yes, and I'm going to go and have myself a lovely chicken burger. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be in the chat with you guys watching the race. Let's see what's going on. What's any kind of action going on around here that we can tune in on? Who haven't we ridden with that much today? Well, let's just ride with because I'm gonna let's just give Sociable Jewel a bit of screen time for a bit, because Sociable Jewel in the whilst we're here talking about time zone racing, so we do know that the 629 Ferrari is having a good race so far. Now, in regards to their championship, let me see if I can find out where they currently are. Whilst we just ride with them currently. That's not the right one. I'm just looking for the other one. I can only see on the leaderboard one time zone racing team. That is the number 628 car, which is the car that's currently in 23rd place. Now that car is showing on the leaderboard. I can't see where the other driver is. So, but the other driver, the time zone racing 628, this McLaren here, they are currently 21st in the championship. I can't see where the other driver is currently. There is one team called Team Thunder that are currently in the top 50 in the championship as well. So I don't know if they're going to have a bad day at the office, because obviously they're not racing in today's race. But Sociable Jewel and Shadow both having a really good race today, because at one point at the start of the race, I don't know if they were involved in that early kind of collision, but they were like P25. So Shadow, in his 2-hour stint with the team, have managed to get that car up into 16th place, and they're now doing a good job here. But you can see though that Hazza is closing down on that Sociable Jewel's car, and he is now only 1.6 seconds behind. So we'll just ride with this one for a second. Actually, I will go quickly up to Cozy Learner. Cozy Learner has closed the gap to the Euro Titans Endurance number 6 car of K1 Wilson. So Cozy is trying to chase down that Euro Titans car to get himself up into P6. But the fact that both the Euro Titans cars are currently P5 and P6 in this race is amazing, and they are my team of the day so far. Because if you look at where they are in the championship, 16th and 26th, and to have both cars in the top 6 currently. That is a fantastic effort by both of them. I'm interested to see what Partick can do as well. We do know, as I said, that Partick is having a bit of a wobble out there, but Partick was, he was in P8. I don't know if he's still held that. Where is Sylph currently? I think Sylph is ahead of him now. Yeah, so he has lost a place to Sylph, unfortunately. He's just ahead of him there. So I think he lost the control of the car. So Partick is going to have to fight his way back. He's still in the top 10. So I think anyone that finishes in the top 10 will be happy with their performance. But Partick, I was going to say, is a good fast driver as well. So I think Partick will just need to, get himself back into a groove. I know it's hard when you haven't raced for the first 2 hours and you're diving straight into a highly competitive race. You know, Sylph has already done an hour stint, and you've just got to try and get yourself in the groove. And it is really, really raining. The track has actually switched to wet, so we've got heavy rain for at least the next half an hour. It says the rain is going to start to slow down in about half an hour, but that means we're going to at least have probably rain on our screens for probably the next hour in this race, well into the halfway mark. And just go back to Zambi. Zambi is right on the back of Deal in the 666 Ferrari. Now, they did make their move up into third during the last stint, but Zambi is now going to take that place back. He's going to try. No, he thinks better of it. He was going to dive down the inside there, but he has opted not to. So this is a move. Oh, yeah, there you go. And he gets through now. I was going to say that is a move in the making, though, and I didn't think it was going to be much longer. So I don't know if the Ferrari just opted not to battle there, but that was a... So we're 2 hours and 20 minutes into this race, and that is a pass for a podium position here. So that is an exclusive esports car back up into the podium, knocking one of the Swister Motorsport cars out. But we still have the Porsche in the lead, the 555 Porsche in the lead, with Aiden in Orion Racing in second. But Zambi now is the man on the move. He has made his way up into P3, and yeah, the question is now, I don't know how far Aiden is ahead. Yeah, Aiden's like almost a lap ahead, so Zambi's going to have to just try his best to close down that gap and then allow the next driver to take over, you know, to have an opportunity to potentially you know, close that gap down. Going back to Cozy. Cozy seems to be struggling at the minute to get past K1 Wilson. So these Euro Titans are doing a fantastic effort so far in 5th and 6th. And yeah, Cozy is doing his best to get past, but at the minute he is being held firm here. We also have, yeah, Partik seems to be... Partik is... Oh no, it looks like Partik has now crashed again. He has fallen backbound past Bowdenai. So Bowdenai and the STI Esports team. Now, actually, we haven't given STI Esports team enough information today. So let me just cover you while we're here. So the STI Esports team are currently 8th in the championship. They are only 15 points behind High Tech and MSA, so that's quite an interesting race. So actually Sylph, who's ahead of them, is only 15 points clear in the championship, but they're also a few places ahead of High Tech and Maurice, and so this little race for 8th, 9th and 12th, those three drivers there are all in a big championship battle. So really good racing by them, and I think Bowden, I will be really happy that he's only 5 seconds off the back of the MSA Autosport car. If he can make his way past Sylph, that would close that gap and allow them to potentially maybe take 2 places in the championship, so watch out for that one as it unfolds as well. K1 Wilson has now closed the gap to his counterpart, so Peninsula, who's been racing in the lead, well, I say in the lead, actually, to be fair, the 313 I think it was 313, but it says 21 now. But yeah, the 313 or the K1 Wilson Eurosports Euro Titans car was at one point in third place in this race. We see a car in the background spun around there. That is the 72 car. So I'm just going to go to Hazza. I think that is Hazza has spun out there, unfortunately. So he was having a good race. He's now dropped out the order. He's waiting for a safe place to move. But yeah, so yeah, the K1 Wilson car was actually, this is actually interesting. This is actually 5th, 6th and 7th in the race, all within a screenshot of each other. So let's just stay with this one for a second, guys. I know we have 8 minutes before Clawpty takes over the stream. But yeah, K1 Wilson is currently in 6th, Peninsula is in 5th, and Cozy Learner's in 7th there. So you can see as he goes wide there. So actually that is Peninsula going wide there. K1 Wilson takes 5th place in this race, and Cozy Learner now is right up the back of K1 Wilson, and he now has the opportunity to take 5th place, from K1 Wilson here. So he now smells blood, and can he take 2 Euro Titans endurance cars in the space of a couple of corners? K1 Wilson is doing a good job of holding off Cozy Learner, who we do know is a freak of a driver. He's so fast. But yeah, I think K1 Wilson's going to use the slipstream of the car ahead. But Peninsula has fallen down the order. I thought there was a... There's obviously some sort of glitch in the driver number here, because we do know that is the 3-1... Yeah, it does say 313 on K1 Wilson. So, yeah, at one point that car was in the lead of, in third place in the race. But then obviously it fell right down the order, had some damage, had to pit early, and now it finds itself back up in contention in 5th place here. So there's, there's by no means saying that they can't get back on the podium. So, yeah, really good driving here. Cozy is trying his best to get past. He doesn't want to do anything stupid, but you can see that Peninsula just cannot seem to get that car dialed in, and he is falling down the order here, and he's now down in 7th place. I don't know how much of a gap there is to Sylph. Sylph is only about 2 or 3 corners behind, so he needs to be careful he doesn't start dropping down the order even more. But the Euro Titans are having a good race, and Cozy is trying to keep... Is he going to try and... yeah, it looks like he's got down side by side there. Side by side now, K1 Wilson and Cozy. Side by side, he's going to dive down the inside here, and he's got the inside line for the next corner, I believe. Or is he going to go try and go around the outside? There's a, yeah, and Aston Martin trying to get out of the way. This is so close from these two drivers here. They're trying their best not to have a... I don't know, is there something happened there? Has Cozy... I think Cozy's DC'd. Has Cozy DC'd? I think Cozy has DC'd from this race, guys. Cozy has left. We do know Cozy is in South Africa and they do have power cuts, but I think Cozy and the exclusive esports car have dropped out of this race. They've DC'd. So when they come back in, they're going to be a couple of laps down, guys. This is big news. The current championship leaders, the 788 exclusive esports car, currently leading the championship, have just DC'd from this race, and they're going to find themselves potentially tumbling down the order when they can get back into this race. And that is catastrophic for them, and it's going to really front this championship. So this is massive news for the Schweister motorsport car. I don't know exactly how this will work with the points, but there could potentially be a swing here where actually Schweister end up being leading the whole championship at the end of this race. I'll have to math it up later on, but Klopti, who is the team manager and about to take over the stream, is going to be absolutely gutted by that. I presume they're going to come back in a minute. Yeah, you can see, so Cozy, you can see, has come back into this race, but he's currently in P12. But obviously, as anyone that's played ACC before will know, you have to stop in your pits for a certain amount of time before you can then go back into the race again. I don't think this will be that catastrophic in the sense, because how many points do you get for 13th place? 13th get they still get 95 points. So yeah, it's not actually that bad, but Cozy Lerner will have it all to do. Yeah, I mean, that is a really, really bad news for Cozy. Kayron Wilson's not going to care one bit. He is chasing down the 666 car, and actually he's making a move for 4th place. Is he going to get down the inside? Yes, he is. And that is Euro Titans Endurance getting from up into 4th place here, and it looks like that Deal just cannot get that car dialed in as well. So he was at one point holding a really good position in 3rd place. He's lost the position to Zambi, dropped down about 13 seconds on the back of Zambi now, and K1 Wilson has found himself up into 4th place in this race. That's really, really good. Really, really good racing. As we can see, K1 Wilson is now Deal's already dropped to a second behind. The question is can Peninsula make that push as well? So we can see that Cozy Lerner is now down in 15th place. He is still tumbling down the order. He cannot get out yet, so obviously he's still on that timing screen. So this is really, really bad news for the exclusive esports team. Great news for the championship, because that's really going to close the order down going into the final race of the season. But we do know that Cozy is from South Africa, and South Africa do have power outs, and they do have a lot of issues with things like that. So there is a lot of it happens a lot. So guys, just we have 3 minutes to go. I'm just my time is almost up. What I'll do is I'll raid Klopti's channel in a minute, and then basically I'll pass you all over to him, and then I will take a break up until about an hour and a half left, and I'll come back in again. What I would say, guys, is thank you for getting involved in the chat. Thank you for messaging. Hopefully I'll see you again about 9 p.m. or 8:30 GMT when we're taking the last hour of this endurance race. It's been fantastic to be with you all, and hopefully you'll come back and spend the last hour with me. But please, if you are still watching, go over to I'll try and raid it as well anyway, but try and go over to Klop's channel and obviously stay tuned with him. But yeah, it's been a really, really fun race so far. I'm just riding with Ninja at the minute. He's 2.5 seconds back off of Weenity, trying to put pressure on his teammate here to become the lead driver here. Big news out of the first couple of hours is that Cozy has, we can see the driver has changed. So Fast Fanatical has gone back in the car, and he is now in P20. So he's got it all to do in order to make his way back up into back up into contention. I'm just trying to find out if Klorps is ready for the handover. Yeah, so I presume that's probably a wise move actually for Fast Fanatical to take over the seat, because obviously if Cozy's having DC issues, you probably want to get Fast Fanatical in that car as quickly as possible. I don't think, yeah, Cozy was only in the car for probably less than 15-20 minutes. And I think Klorps has said he's ready to be passed over, so I'm going to hand you over, guys, to... I've never done this raid thing before, but I'm going to see if I can find how you raid. Does anyone know how to do that on this thing? If anyone's on the chat, do you know how to... does anyone know how to raid on this? I'm trying to work out how to do it. I can't find the button that we have to press to raid, guys. I am just doing this ad hoc as we go. Can anyone help me on the mobile app how you raid someone else's channel? Just so I want to make sure I do this properly. Can anyone offer any kind of insight to me? Okay. Yeah, Klopp saying I have no idea. There's definitely a button to do it. Yeah, no, I thought it was easy, but I'm guessing it's not as easy as I thought. I thought you just press the button and then it works. But I'm doing it. But the thing is, guys, I'm doing it through my mobile app. So let me just 1 second, guys. I've got to get used to this. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to log onto my laptop one and see if I can do it there. Oh, okay, is that all I have to do? Okay, that's all I have to do. What is your... I'm just trying to do it now. There we go. You just put the link in there. That's probably easier, isn't it? Is that not how I do it? Oh, I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? See, guys, we're all new to this stuff, aren't we? If you can all head over to Klorps channel, he's put the link in there now. Obviously, I'm going to end my stream in a second. I'm just, I don't know if it's worked. But yeah, guys, if you can head over to Klorps link there, follow his channel for the last, or for the next hour or so. There you go, look. We're all switching over, guys. So head over to his channel now, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back for the last hour. Yeah, I really appreciate your time, and I will see you all again at about 8:30, 9 o'clock.